What is going on, everybody? It's me, RDV, and just hanging out on a Thursday night. Talk some new comic books and show off some old stuff. And I like comic books as well. What's going on? It seems like there's no one in the chat. I see 4 people watching. I know I'm one of them on my phone.
I'm one of them too.
So we have 2 people watching. Or do we only have 1? No, because if it would have been Breen on his phone, he would have been like, you would have heard it. You would have heard the echo of my voice because he had a sound figure to turn sound down. What is up, Brian? What's going on, man? What's going on to Geekeasy in the chat? Great, you could show up. Got some cool books, and I got some. Actually, every book I got, I enjoyed. There's only one book I didn't get a chance to read, and I'm wondering if Breen read it though. I know you got it, but
I know there's one book I got that I did not like.
Oh,
we'll get to that.
That must have been cruel. I don't know if that's the title, but I'm just saying that's a good one.
No.
But anyway, I'm gonna start. We'll get this going. All right. First book of the night, because, well, I don't rank it in there because, well, it wouldn't be fair because this series was going on since 2013. It ended in 2009. Actually, no, did it start?
Wait, it ended before it started?
In 2019 is when it ended.
Oh.
Started in 2013 or 10. I think it might have been 2010, actually. But is The Walking Dead came out today. This is the first color appearance of Negan.
It's 2003, 2019.
Is that what it was? I couldn't remember if it was. Maybe the show was 2010 then, I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay. But Finch drew an all-new cover, and I figured, why not get it? So that, yeah, issue 100, first appearance of Negan. This is Walking Dead Deluxe. It's in color. For those who are not getting this series because you may have already owned the original, there is some stuff in the backup, but I guess if you're a hardcore fan, you'll own both. But
I have them in the compilation.
Yeah. I'm just having fun because I've already read the original series, so I'm having fun just collecting them for the first time, individual floppies. So, all right. So I got a total of 9 books. That was one of them. So my number 8, only because I haven't got a chance to read it though. That's why it's at number 8. But it is Josie the Pussycats Annual Spectacular.
How have you not had a chance to read the 5 new pages in that book?
Because I forgot that I picked this book up.
You're missing there's 5 new pages. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean,
I don't know the other stories either, but that's still, yeah, you got to admit that's pretty weak. One 5-page new story.
So I have not read a lot of Archie, so everything's new to me.
Same here, but I said that's still weak. I don't care. There's no justification for that. So it's an 80th. I guess I
don't supposed to be 80th anniversary or whatever. Is it over 80 years of Archie? Says it's a one shot for 5 pages, and I guess the backup are just older ones.
Yeah.
Are they Dan Parents?
There's an older one from I think the 60s, and then there's a modern reprint. I don't know. Let me see. I can.
To me, that's so cool because I have not read any of these. I mean, if you've read them before and you already have them in another collection, then I'd be pissed.
Ian Flynn did the 5-page story.
Yeah, he's the Archie writer from Sonic.
But yeah, so that's. Yeah, I'm just saying. They at the very least, there needs to be a couple more new pages in that story because I said 5-page stories. Yeah, but then like I said there's the third story is a modern reprint. I'm just not familiar enough with the people.
I mean, for one story, it usually is 5 pages. That's how it's always been in the Archie stuff, So I mean, but I understand what you're saying though. I would like to have more than if you're gonna have like 3 to 4 stories in here.
You've been buying Josie and you've been reading all this. Are you paying $4 for 5 pages?
I've never bought Josie.
But some people have. And
yeah. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I said I'm not too worried about it. As where someone who's already collected these before, it would be a ripoff. For me personally, though, if you're a new reader, getting into this. Then you get originally, you said a 1960s book, then you get like probably an 80 or 90s maybe story. Yeah. I'd be more upset if they're celebrating like oh, this is Josie Pussycat's annual spectacular, and then it's just all news stories, and I mean news stories by Dan Parent, who modernized it, wokenized it. I don't want that stuff. So I'm looking forward to reading this and seeing exactly how the stories are, because the major reason I got this is because it's Josie Pussycat, because it also has Sabrina in there.
Yeah, that's she's guest starring, working with Alexandra Cabot.
Yeah,
and I wanted that story to go longer because it's Ian Flynn, or Ian Flynn, however he pronounces it.
Yeah,
I like I like the Cabots. I like Sabrina, and I said I just didn't want the story to be over in 5 pages.
I hear you, man. Like, but it may not be his decision. But I agree though. I would rather just have a whole entire book dedicated to Ian Flynn writing one story.
Like when like they let Mags write for Archie on occasion.
Yeah,
and 5 pages in, you're asking why it's not over.
Yeah. So like I said, it just honestly, if that's their goal, I mean, because like reread on the channel here, reread the one from this year, the Halloween Spectacular. That had a story in there, and then they left it at a cliffhanger. So I mean, I gotta wait to the next Halloween story, But I hear you though. That's why I don't like collecting comic books that were written for dailies, because if you only get 5 stories and then you have to wait again for the next daily strip to come out, whenever that comes out, collect it again. Like, I don't like cliffhangers. I'm a binge reader when it comes to stuff like that.
One Slick, no, because that's just a tantrum. That's not, like I said, what he did after the assassination attempt, that was disgusting. This is just him being the king baby that he's always been.
Well, this is a TDS. This is what we had in 2016. Same thing.
Oh, but before that, he was like this long before Donald Trump was a politician.
I'm sure.
He's an arrested adolescent, and this is an example of that, not some of the really awful things he said.
No. All right. So number 7 is Scorch. John Layman is not really one of my favorite writers, but I would say he's probably on par maybe with Duggan, but slightly better than Duggan. Story was pretty good. It's finally wrapping up where Jessica's being undercover. They're trying to find out where Medieval's armor or Spawn symbiote basically is located. And if they knew anybody would know it, it'd be who she worked for, Jason Wingrade. And she in the leading up issues, basically, Wingrade was the guy who basically worked with her. Al Simmons. She murdered him. He got back. He got revenge on her, and he put bombs inside her. So she was basically forced to work for him. But while doing so, she was actually working for Spawn, secretly as a spy. And they basically arranged a fake fight. That way, when Haunt hit her, it took out all the bombs that were inside her. Because basically, it was basically when Wingrade died, she died. So in this issue, she says, she gets caught stealing the information, and she basically says, you may not know this, but basically, you're fucked, because I don't remember the bombs you said I have in me. I don't have them, and she basically paralyzes him, and his head blows up, and you just see a torso just falls over and blood spewing out. It's just kind of cool. Todd McFarlane is still involved in this somewhat, I guess. I mean, he has a writing credit, and I think that's all it is, and that's why I think I'm liking it better versus when he's full on control. But overall, I enjoy the story. All right. Ironically, my number 6 is number 6. It is the final issue of My Adventures with Superman. First, dealing with the Mazor robot and Bloodsport. For Josie Campbell, it's actually a decent story. If you're not a fan of this version of Superman, I understand you probably won't like this. It's probably not easy. You should be picking it up. But honestly, the book was actually pretty much safe for kids. I can't say that about a lot of books coming out through DC, but I had fun with it. And everything happens well. The Mazor robot basically wants to sacrifice itself to save everyone else. And the Kents, the only thing, like I said, I don't like about this is that Jimmy Olsen has an infinite amount of money now. He's basically a multi-billionaire because he was a blogger and he sold the rights to the company. So now he makes money. Gets these wealthy bonus checks he uses to help out the team. Like, oh, he's renting a helicopter or this. I'm like, no, I don't like that crap. It's annoying. But like I said, this is also aimed for, like I said, like 7-year-olds. So I can understand why they do silly hijinks like that. Overall, art style, I don't mind it. It's actually okay. It's like I said, it's not meant for like older teens. It's meant for more like kids. If you write Teen Titans Go, it's similar kind of art. So overall, it wrapped up nice. It was a good story. Unfortunately, though, they released DC being dumbasses released that series after the season 2 ended. It's supposed to be a bridge between season 1 and season 2 of the actual cartoon. All right. Number 5 this week. Conan. Battle of the Black Stone. I got the alternate cover. Pretty much this series is basically like we went from a team verse to team book to basically where like one by one they're getting bumped off. The girl in the front here basically has a nervous breakdown, decides she's gonna summon the monster, and the monster just bites her in half. Conan, who's basically having a moment with the girl up here, who basically he had a fling with before she died in the first arc. Those two are gonna survive. Solomon Kane's still around. They're down. That's all that's left though. Solomon Kane, Conan, and this other girl. And they're gonna try to take down this monster. They basically could strike at any point in their life, their time. They could time travel, and yeah, pretty much. It's got gore. It's got a little bit of motion here. Like I said, it's Jim Sub. The art is not Doug Braithwaite because this is a separate story, than the main title. But I've been having fun with Blackstone. It's the last name is Scarf, Scharfe or Sharf. But yeah, had fun with this. Alrighty. Number 3 for me. Actually, number 4. Sorry. Number 4 for me is JSA. I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it was going to be. Basically, it's half the JSA, the original JSA, are missing after the events of Absolute Power, which I don't give a shit about. But it's basically the younger team there. Liberty Bell, or no, Jesse Quick with I guess that's supposed to be Rex, is Iron Man. And then you have Dr. Midnight, the Obsidian, and Jade are what's left, and they're trying to figure out what's going on with the team, but they're also taking down enemies. And Obsidian basically is listening. He's and same with Wildcat, the new Wildcat, Yolanda. Basically, they're tired of just sitting around waiting for villains to attack, so they're going on the initiative and taking out villains. Jade's trying to be the cheater, leader, and basically keep them all in line. But even like they said, like he's like your pacifist style leading is probably like the city says it's probably why the team got the way they are. No. So there's some dysfunction. Meanwhile, over in the Tower of Fate, basically the team is basically it's where they're lost and they can't get out. Meanwhile, I guess the new kid's Khalid, whatever his name is, sucks compared to Kent Nelson. I hate this Dr. Fate. He sucks. It's Teen Fate. That's basically what it is. And he's trying to hold the magic barrier to keep these demons from entering into the castle while they got Jay running around through infinite corridors while Green Lantern's basically got a GPS on him so he doesn't get lost. They're trying to find a way out. The only one that actually got out was Jakeem, and he's in a coma. Art's decent in the inside, but I don't know. It's only the first issue. I'm gonna stick with it, see where it goes. But basically, Obsidian is basically well, I'm not gonna give away, but I'll just say that there's the new Injustice, and I'll just say that Johnny Sorrow is in this book. All right. Number 3, DuckTales. I didn't expect this to be this good. Like, this is just fun. we were on a Donald Duck story on here about, was it last Friday or Sunday? This is fun. This is basically the boys are stuck inside the money bin, and Scrooge is putting in the work. They're tired of working, and they basically want to learn how to basically make money and stuff. They want Scrooge to tell them stories. So, overall, like I said, I had fun with this. This is Brandon Monteclair. Never heard of him. Artist is Tommaso Ronda. It's classic style DuckTales, not the new crap they came out with, that cartoon. So they actually are putting effort into this book. And throughout the book, basically, Scrooge basically tells them stories of past issues. So one of the first stories he tells them is how he got this treasure, this golden mask, and I love it because they do the old school art. You even get you can't. I don't think it really shows up in here, but they were showing like here, like on this part here, it's the old school pin art. So the little dots here. So, and that's how it basically goes throughout, and you get another story. So you're getting like 3 little stories back here. Continue on. He tells them how he got each treasure. And overall, it's basically if you like the original cartoon from the 80s and the 90s, this is the same kind of effort. Also, it also reminds you of Carl Barks and Don Rosa storytelling too. Little Scrooge. And how basically teaches them how what a wishing well is. And they're supposed to learn when they're younger. If it zooms in, all right, there it goes. Yeah. Takes their coins, puts it into a lifetime savings, for them. Like I said, I had fun with this. This is probably like cool. So if you're looking for a Donald Duck book to read, it looks like Dynamite's gonna be the place for all Disney stuff, and there's gonna be a lot more stuff. The next one's gonna have Magic Cruella, I think her name is.
Magic of Dispel.
Dispel is in the next issue. Number 2 for the week is Nemesis Rogues Gallery. At first reading this, I had no idea what was going on with it, because we're now 4 issues in. Now it makes sense. The enemies who are basically it's supposed to be Batman's Rogues Gallery. Like if all his villains team up against him, that's what's happening with this, with Nemesis and the Rookie, and we get to learn who put them all together and what his connection is to Nemesis, and how he knows where he's going to be, when he'll be. Very fun. And then final number 1 for this week. Kill All Immortals. Just having fun with it. As the second time reading it, I read it last week and read it again this week. It is just a fun book. Twist at the end that I did not see coming. I was shocked that they did it, and I want to know where they're going from there, because like I just thought I knew where Zach Kaplan was taking this book, but dang, is it fun. Yep.
I missed like this one of the issues, so I'm just gonna have to wait and get it all in trade.
And I'm also eager to hear what Breen thinks about that issue, because I know that I hyped it up, and I hope I didn't like ruin it for him. Get your hopes up, and you're like, it's not as good as that he told it was. All right. Some back issues I got this week. Got this really cheap because it had some water damage, but nowhere in the book it was on the back cover. I got myself 123 of Amazing Spider-Man, Luke Cage. So
Sweet Christmas.
I know, right?
Is that his first appearance?
No,
but I mean, yeah. This is where I believe this is where Jonah hires him, right?
Yeah, it's right after Gwen's death.
Yeah,
and for Luke Cage, he has the misfortune of having a really, really pissed off Spider-Man on his hands.
Yep. Like I said, this is fun. And Zach liked it so much, he's like, "You got Luke Cage up there? I gotta show up."
Zach.
I really should be in bed right now. I don't know why I hate myself.
Maybe for the same reason we do.
You do?
I don't know.
All right, another fun issue.
Thanks for taking all the heat off me, Zach.
That's what I do.
I couldn't resist as I saw this. I was like, dude, Superman and Clark Kent. Yeah. 2-page pen up of Superman is and 65 co-stars. So Atomic Skull. I'm just mad there's no trademark like Comic Skull. But it's Buckler though. And Giacola here too.
It's Buckler and who?
Giacoya.
No, it's Giacola. Oh,
Because of the A at the end. That's why I was like confused. All right. Then I was going through the rest of it and I was like, you know what? Here's another cool one I saw. I figured why not get this one too. So
covered by the great one. What more can you ask for?
right? Well, I was more like intrigued because it's Robin teaming up with Superman. There's no Batman involved. And then you get Elongated Man. The guy got canceled, kicked off of Supergirl.
Flash.
Well, what's the difference at that point?
Flash, Supergirl. I mean,
Yeah, honestly, in that regard, I don't know that there is.
And then I saw this nice little preprint of back issues.
And you know what Teen Titans story that is, don't you?
You're gonna
You can wax my slats anytime.
anytime. Yep. That's I saw it right there. I was like, oh yeah. Is that the first? Okay, yeah, because then Vigilante appears in what issue then?
I don't remember.
Isn't he a first appearance in Teen Titans later on?
That's years after that. This reprints two of the Bob Haney issues.
Yeah. I was wondering if it was
Yeah, Vigilante was way more than a decade later.
Yeah. Fun series. Alrighty, then I was going through and I said, well, you know what? Breen said he wanted me to get him a book for him, but while I was looking for it, I came around this from number 2 from 1955. So I figured, why not?
Yes. God, I love those books.
Just the detail on this is awesome. So, and then I saw this book, going for $2. It's got a spine roll. It's a little beat up, but why not? Number 98.
Nice.
It's ripped by the spine here, so it's like it basically one part rolls and it's missing on the bottom there. But I said overall, it's a fun story.
1977.
But then I saw this too, and I was going through, and I was like, you know what? I need to get this because Breen would disown me if I saw this and they said, you know what? I don't want it. You know who doesn't have it though? I bet you Zach doesn't have this.
Probably not.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
the closest we're gonna get the sports ball.
yeah.
So.
And it's cover dated December 1976. It's my favorite month. I don't know why.
I don't know, but it's 9 sensational superheroes versus 9 sinister supervillains. An all new baseball sportacular. Strike 1, strike 2, you're out.
Yeah, how Rod's trying to get all the go-go checks. I try to find every
sports
comic book that came out cover dated December 76.
Nice.
But I forgot about Archie.
Speaking of go-go checks.
See, I was providing a segue for you.
I hear ya. Well, the last guy to segue went up a cliff. So
look, Zach, it never ends.
What's that?
Electrifying suspense. The mystery of Krypton's second doom.
Geeky puppet tropes.
This is Krypton, as he says.
And look, look in the corner. Those are people That's what happens to them after
Yeah.
they get done going, ah.
I just want to
They
zoom
collapse.
in, but yeah, you see
You know,
the guy.
they land.
Yep.
And what issue is that again?
This is number
195 or 6, I think.
189.
Oh, 189. Wow.
Only survivor is Crypto. He's like a cockroach. He survives. All right. And then I saw this. I couldn't pass this up. This was just a nice condition, but it's like Google. When I go I talk about a comic book where I read it on the channel, and all of a sudden my shop's like, guess what we got in? So, Turtles Meet Archie, 64 pages, wraparound cover, everything. It's fun. So, very fun book. I'm so glad I actually was able to find this. I wasn't even looking for it. This is what I mean. I get impulse buys. Like here, I was just like, hey, we know you like this. Like, I'm convinced they watch the channel. I've never told them, but I'm convinced. All right, and then because Brian said he wanted one of these, I got him another one.
Bless you, my comic son.
Ironically, it was only $1 cheaper than the one that actually has a back cover.
Well,
yeah, so isn't that bad? 1949, and it's missing the back cover. It's a nice condition though. You can see that's kind of. So, pretty nice book. I haven't opened it up, so I don't know if it has that 1949 smell. It might, but man, when I see the Dell logo like that, that's why you know it's a good book.
Yeah.
So, but that is it for my books this week. Zach's like, what? That's it? You're gone already? In 27 minutes?
Kinda.
Well, I only had 9 books. 2 I did. 2 I did not read. Well, one I read before, but and I already talked about JSA just before you jumped in. So anyway, well, also I did read the Superman book. I wasn't impressed, but maybe the second issue will be better. Also, the Jason Aaron insert was hilarious.
It wasn't an insert. What are you talking about?
The guy with the beard is literally Jason Aaron. Have you seen his profile on Big Comic Geeks? The guy with the bald head.
Which guy with the beard?
What at the beginning?
The rando
on
Kryptonian scientist?
Yes, that was the Jason Aaron insert. He had to put himself in the book because his ego.
He can't draw. He's not the artist. Rafa.
No, but do you think these guys can't like say, "Hey, can you put me in the book?" Sure, bro.
I think it might be a stretch.
No, I think you're just a denier. You're an Aaron sympathizer, so you got to make it
flat earther.
Yeah,
Zach, you're overrated. Or former LSU quarterback just threw a pick in the end zone.
There you go.
Is LSU playing tonight?
No, Joe Burrow.
Oh, Joe. Oh. I was about to say.
Like
wait a second.
It wasn't a bad. Like I said, Superman wasn't a bad issue. It was just kind of meh for me. That's all. There's nothing really new that I haven't seen before in other Superman issues.
Jay and I are gonna go start a cool kids club, and you're not invited.
You know what? Whatever gets both you
is good. Is this one of them ironic clubs, like me being like, "Hey, let's do the thin kids club," you know? You know?
You're not invited either, Geekeasy. How about that?
Oh, gee, let me just. All right. So I have, I think it's 6, but 3, 4, 7, but one of them is a double cover, so it's only 6. So let's pick up where we left off. We have Absolute Superman #1. It sucked.
Yeah, now you're really not invited.
I mean, the art is not bad at certain points. I mean, they have that's Lois Lane right there. And she looks sort of.
It's
You know,
Tim Drake. What are you talking about?
That boy in the bottom of the
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah.
yeah,
She's a
that's
soldier.
That's,
And so they have to go and totally, completely redo his beginning. It's the planet is destroyed because they overmine it, and it's run by like corporations and stuff. And the chest emblems and all that stuff is your status.
Which is nothing new. We saw that in Crypt on the show.
I never watched Crypto on the show.
I'm just saying, there's no new ideas in this story other than, hey, look, it's a new story.
But his parents, in every other version of the beginning, are like scientists and really smart. These were both his parents. They were both could have been scientists, but they spoke out against the evil
Krypton,
corporations
and
and stuff,
they laughed their theories apart. So they
and
basically
they had to become
engineers.
workers and working in the engineers, and so they're second-class citizens. And now he's down. It says now Earth, Brazil. So he's Kal-El. You don't even know if he's Krypton or anything like that. He's working. He's helping like a bunch of miners who are going to be screwed over and
people
stuff.
forced in the mines to work for diamonds and by this corporation that is run. What's the name of the corporation again?
Lazarus.
Lazarus. That's what it
Lazarus.
was. So I was like, oh no, what they're doing. So they're like, is it tied to Ra's al Ghul? Is he now a slave owner?
But it's just, and I guess Lois works for the corporation now, and she's going up against him. And is this, hey Zach, is this power of his that he has right here? Is that new?
Super speed or
No,
laser
the-
eyes?
The eye thing right here.
The laser eyes?
Yeah.
He's always had heat vision.
Yeah.
Oh,
heat vision.
that's supposed to be heat vision.
So,
Okay.
so what's new is that his suit talks to him.
Yeah. That's
Which
what
I thought at first, I was reading, I'm like, is this supposed to be Brainiac in like an AI format, like like Friday?
This was giving me like Booster Gold vibes.
That's that people were saying that too. Yeah, it was like Booster Gold. So I was like, and it's just basically Superman being heroic, which is there's nothing new. Like I said, like it's just like I said, if that's what you enjoy, that's what you enjoy. I'm not gonna say it's horrible. I'm just gonna say it was just kind of meh.
It's not as bad as the Wonder Woman one.
The Wonder Woman was way better. I mean, not way better, but way worse. So sorry.
Yes. Okay. Okay. Then the other one is the Squirrel cover, which is a non-reader.
So you pay twice for the same book.
Yes, but at least the cover I can maybe
Just get the
possibly make some
shiny,
money.
and that way, if you don't like it, at least you can sell the shiny.
Yeah, but the shiny it's unopened, so I can maybe say it's been Don't take that away from me. I mean,
well, you're the one spending twice on a book that you didn't like.
yes. Rub my nose in it. Bad dog.
You think you'll do it next week too? Why am I still buying this?
Hey,
no,
hey,
I'm
Zach.
done.
Yo,
your underrated former LSU quarterback got a second chance and just threw a touchdown pass.
hey,
All right, continue with Geekeasy.
we love Joe.
All right. Speaking of Squirrel and a better book, Batgirl #1.
I heard about this. The guy at my comic shop was going on about it.
You like the art, Geekeasy? Art look horrible to me.
This is what is Shiva?
It's
not bad looking art.
It's Batgirl. It's basically Cassie and her mom again for the 15 billion time in a story.
But
I've never read a Cassie story, so
neither have I. So this all will be new to me. But it's basically
you have just the better Cassie.
Yes, and we'll get to the better Cassie here in a second. It's basically Lady Shiva shows up to say, hey, I'm here to save your life. There are people after you. Cassie's just basically telling her to F off. She doesn't want anything to do with it. And then all these people.
Yes, Just
Yes, pretty much. Yes. I don't appreciate the dangle thing, but
With the Kamala vote. Shiny. There's got to be a cutoff point for that.
but then it's some group that sort of reminds me of the League of Assassins is after them, and I mean it's pretty good. I enjoyed it for what it was. Now on to the good books. Very good books.
On to the good books. I enjoyed it. Now on to the good books.
I mean, it was good, but I bought this one as a blind buy, and this is one of the ones that a blind buy actually did well, or was good. Exit City.
Exit City. Brain, you slept on that one.
I was muted. Exit City. I had to finish my popcorn.
Of course he did.
Mark London. I don't know if anyone of you guys know who he is. I don't.
I only know the other one that died, Michael Landon, or whatever his name was.
Julie London.
No, the one from Highway to Heaven.
That's
Michael Landon.
Yeah.
You mean Little Joe? Get it right, man.
No, Little Joe's in Japan.
Teenage Werewolf.
Yes, the Teenage Werewolf. Okay, so we have this corporation, this huge corporation that wanted to. I guess they were out in. They tried to exit California, seeding from the states, but they weren't allowed to. So they went and built this like giant dome city under the ocean, and
Dome City,
and it became pretty much autonomous. It's sort of like Hong Kong was, and a couple other cities in China, part of it, but not part. And then you get this this young woman right here. She's like being questioned by, I guess, her superiors. She's a cop, and she is in trouble for this investigation she had done. And she gets teamed up with Mr. Trenchcoat Cop dude. He is a really by the book guy. He's
with his
former
blue hair.
What's that?
With his blue hair.
Yes, it actually kind of looked blue. It's just actually black, I guess.
I know. I don't like it when they put the anime tint to it.
Yeah, but he's like ex special forces, and he's sort of really by the book. And he calls her dirty.
That's racist.
Yes, very. And they get called to an accident. He's told to go there by the chief, and the chief says, bring her along by name. And it is a accident. And
is it a woman driver?
There was a woman in the car. They don't say which one was driving. It was a guy and a woman, so 50-50 chance that it was her driving.
He ended it. He just drove in the wall.
maybe she was just nagging so much that he went into the pole. Who knows? But there's this. They're like, okay, let's just check let's check all the video footage. That was wiped, and there's all these evidence of like grappling hooks on a pole and stuff like that. So they can. He was told that it was it looks like it was someone using like this advanced technology to come around and get out of him. And you can see him. If you look here, he's talking to something inside of his jacket, and they're talking back to him. Turns out that he was part of a squad that was sent in to do something, and they all had like chips involved in them that did their consciousness. He was the only one that survived, and they wanted him to do something. So he says, okay, I want all their chips in this machine so I can talk to them. And so it looks like it's a murder, a big conspiracy.
So he's talking to the virtual ghosts of his former teammates?
Their downloaded machine, subconsciousness or something. I'm not quite 100% sure.
Like their digital soul.
Yeah.
Imprinted.
And then
they counsel him.
Yeah, and then someone's going after some bad guys, and this dude shows up, and so we have no idea who the hell that is.
I'm disappointed in Eric today. It's muting. He's not this paying attention.
Well, he's got a game to watch, man.
Joe Burrow is
The
playing.
guy
That
literally
needs
hears
to-
voices in his head. They counsel him. They talk to him.
I wonder if he gives people an RKO.
Probably.
Yeah. And number
Can't rely on Zach on these wrestling references.
3.
That's not cool.
Number 3. Ultimate's number 6.
Really?
Nice cover. Nice cover.
It's a giant. Oh, I thought it was a giant gorilla at first.
No.
Focusing.
I guess that's supposed to be the Hulk right there.
It's a rock.
It is,
bro.
yeah.
It's a rock after all the
this
steroids.
Hulk.
Well, he's already on steroids. Come on.
I'm just saying, it looks like the Rock. He's got the little vest he wears and everything, the fancy clothes.
And I don't know if you read it or not.
I did. I actually just did. As y'all have been going, I'm
Zach hasn't
just
read
getting
any of the
caught
books other than that.
But
buddy, I've been going today. This is the first time I'm sitting on my butt tonight.
what
So,
else
yeah,
would
I'm
you
getting
say?
caught up. I got nothing. Attack.
You should have read your
I don't
books last time when we were live streaming.
Girl's face. So you got so you got Tony Stark. They're at this kind of area where they found where the Maker and those guys are keeping a bunch of superpowered, like what do you call them? Possible superheroes imprisoned, and they're going to try and get in and
Like the negative zone.
yeah, but it's a prison.
Okay. Well, yeah.
But they want to try and break in and get them all to go against the Maker. Turns out that the Hulk, they break in and see this, and it's the Hulk sitting there drinking tea and all that. It's Kunlun, I guess, their version of Kunlun.
Yeah, because this Hulk has the Iron
Mhm.
Fist.
Yeah. And so it's a setup, and it's him fighting a bunch of the Ultimates fighting the Hulk and his people.
Martial artist with
Yes.
radioactive powers.
Yeah. Uranium Brother number 235, Pinnacle is Prince of Meltdowns, Fat Cobra,
Pat Cope.
DK's beautiful daughter,
Mhm.
stuff like that. And the one thing they do from the immortal weapons of the Hulk, one thing that they do in here is, I've seen this happen before, where like you see Iron Fist using a move and then it tells what the move is on the page.
Yeah.
They do that here in this as well.
Like a manga trope now they're trying to do now.
Yeah, like a Big Bang Phoenix
No,
conflagration.
they don't yell out their finishing moves. It just
Why not?
It says it in the thing. That's something that's been that's happened though in a lot of like Iron Fist comics. Like,
That's
in
what
the
I was
past.
saying.
Yeah.
I mean, at this
And-
point, if they're trying to compete with manga, they might as well start doing manga things.
And it's not one of the better ones, but
Ultimate Super Punch combo.
it does end with a bit of a cliffhanger, which may or may not. I seriously doubt it's what they're saying it is. Do you think, Zach?
I'm on
I
the
don't-
fence. I don't know, man, because there's like some foreshadowing for it. When I was reading through the issue, there's like some dialogue that he uses that kind of foreshadows it and teases it. So I don't know if
But this
it is.
the Ultimate, so they
I'll
could.
kind of be shocked. I'll kind of be shocked if he does. If it is. But I'll be
Normal
like, "Dang,
tropes would
respect."
say that he makes it, but
Yeah,
this may or may not.
yeah.
And so we'll see.
I don't
Number
know. I'm just tired of the Hulk being a villain. Like, what's the end game here? Are they going to kill the Hulk? Can you kill the Hulk?
but this is a Iron Hulk. Iron
Yeah,
Fist
it's like an
Hulk.
Iron Fist Hulk. His punches pack the power of 16 Hiroshimas.
In other words, the world will be destroyed. It's like going against.
No,
Lord
because they're
Beerus.
not in the world. They're in Kunlun, which is like on a different plane of existence. It's like heaven or something.
Yeah, that's part of the story. Is they have to. Doom is trying to track them to get them out of there.
Yeah, because they're not on the actual Earth. They're in like,
Oh, so
you know, if you go to Kunlun, you're in a different reality, kind of. So
now
to
this
speak.
just sounds like Dragon Ball is Super.
It's like talking to Ash, who hasn't read a comic book, and he's trying to debate the stuff in the comic book.
Well, yeah, after I talk to you, you don't know, you don't read comic books, bro.
Okay, so then we have number 2. And let me take this. It came in a bag. I need to go get another one to keep from being unopened. So I'll have an unopened bagged version. Is Something is Killing the Children. The Erica Slaughter Intermix variant cover number 0. And then you have the issue here, which is pretty cool. It takes place after, I guess, the last issue. And
It's a prequel story now?
no, it doesn't involve Erica and other than flashbacks. Because this is like takes place right after the last issue. And Erica helped this little girl in the last arc. And this person who was after Erica is talking to the little girl to try and get information from her about Erica, because he's trying to find her and kill her, I guess, or make her.
Hey, little girl, you want some ice cream? Tell me
Yeah,
about your
that's
friend.
kind of, and so this is just kind of a little dance between the adult and the girl. The adult trying to get information from the kid, and the kid not wanting to because she liked Erica, and it's pretty good. And number 1, and only reason I say it's number 1, I really didn't get a chance to read it because I need to go back and read the first one again. But I remember liking the first one. The Crow, Dead Time, number 2. This is actually written by James O'Barr.
Okay, so it's not based off the movie that everybody loved.
No, it's written by the same guy, but it's something entirely. Because
that new movie was awesome.
Oh, wasn't it though?
I know. That's why I was hoping they put in a comic book form for me.
But the art in this thing is just incredible. I haven't had a chance to read it yet because I want to go back and read the other one first again. But I've been sleeping most of the afternoon because
It's your Alaska. There's nothing else to do, just sleep.
Yeah. Well, I also have to go back to bed here in a little bit. I work from midnight to 8 in the morning, and so yesterday when we went and did the comics, our place opens up at noon, and we're an hour behind the West Coast. Just to let you know. And they opened the door and said, "Oh, only DC at the moment. All the other stuff we don't have at the moment." So I got those 3. And then I picked,
FedEx brought our stuff late the other day.
And
that's what 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
All the other stuff was in the warehouse. They were, breaking it down, and we got it later on that night. But then I also just did get this.
Nice.
Because I have all the floppies.
Yeah.
But I got this again to keep it in the collection, and I want them to start making more stuff like this. To keep making more stuff like this because this was fantastic, and if it sells,
that's what I don't understand. Is like they should, if they're gonna put all the magazines in individual floppy format, collect it all at once for someone who doesn't want to invest in all the magazines. To get it all collected.
Yeah, but I liked that, and I liked this, so I want them to start making more stuff. So I'm gonna, and I love the art, but I bought it again just because I wanted it, and I want them to say, "Hey, if we keep doing stuff like this, people will buy it." But you've all read this and stuff, so I don't need to go over it.
And the Quinn Mark is not quitting anytime soon. He's just being normal Mark.
He's just being a little pushy.
Yeah.
Zach, did you read Batman First Night?
I did when the issues are coming out. Yes.
Oh, cool.
I make good choices every now and then.
Alrighty.
You chose wisely, my comic son.
Okay, so now here is some things that I got in the mail. No, these were ordered. Supposed to have been 2 orders, but they came 3 separate ways because I ordered 2 of them at once. And you know how like if when like in stock trades, if it takes too long for one thing to come in, they'll ship one
Mm-hmm.
and then ship the other. Well, that happened with this one, the first 2, and they were shipped 2 days apart. And I found it really annoying because both of them happened this way. One of them showed up 2 days ago. Up until like one night, it's still saying label printed, waiting in New Hampshire for shipping. And then I woke up the next morning and it's saying out for delivery. And I got it that day. And then the second one, it said the same thing last night. It said, still saying in like New Hampshire, New Haven, or whatever. And then it was out for delivery this morning. Which was this one because I ordered Hex. This is the one that came in this morning. Hack Slash Deluxe hardcover number 3, and this has kind of some cheesy art in it. Some of the they trying to get a little bit weird stuff in this. But and then number 4 is the one that came in first. So I've got 3 and 4.
Cool.
And then I ordered this the day before it came out. And it took until today to get here, but I got it. And if I understand, they said there was only going to be like I don't think they only did the 5,000 copies I heard that they printed. But if they did, I got one. DC versus Marvel.
Oh, very nice.
Nice.
I approve.
Yes. And it was only $87.
What? Nice.
In
Worth
stock
it.
trades. Yep. And so that's part of my issue right there with in stock trades is you get like a really good discount. This is like I think it was a buck or $1.50, I think, for this, and I only got it for 87.
It's a pretty good deal.
And so you get a really good deal on that stuff, but the only problem is sometimes you just have to wait and wait and wait for it to.
Yeah.
Because it took like a week for them to actually fill the order, and then another few days for it to ship, and then it finally. And some of this take even longer. So the waiting is the thing that gets me, but you get such a good deal on it that, like yesterday I could have gotten that Batman's Finest Year 1 and 2.
Yep.
At my shop, there was like 2-3 copies of it, but I'd already ordered one, and I was getting 50% off of that so it's only $18.
Yeah, my shop didn't have any of that stuff. So like I said, I'm probably going to in stock trade.
Yeah, that's the only thing I have left to order now is the Batman Finest Year 1 and 2. I have the Wildcats Companion. That's 55% off. So those 2 are less than one of those books, and then the Vault of Horror number 5. That's coming, and they haven't even shipped yet. But this is, and that's it.
Alrighty. All right, Zach, we're gonna throw you up next.
Throw up.
Throw Zach up.
Throw you up. Yes.
Okay. I had a lot of books. I did not pick up any books last week, so the books I picked up this week were in addition to that. So I have like semi-back issues. I was actually just getting caught up. I'm about halfway through Void Rivals. This is what, number 13? So got halfway through that. Not bad. Previously to that, I finished reading Redcoat number 7. Good little heartfelt story in there featuring the world's smartest man. Shazam number 17. The cover, I really like the cover because it's Shazam and Captain Marvel Jr. fighting.
That's talking Tawny. That's why you like it.
Why can't these two just talk it out? That's actually the best part of the book. The story is not bad itself. The art is severely lacking. I miss when Emmanuel Lupacino was on it. This McDade guy is not sending his
Yeah.
best. But story's still good though. I'm in it for the story. It's like this ongoing feud between Billy and Freddy, like who's better at being a hero.
When I stopped,
No.
I remember it just seemed like Freddy was jealous. I'm like,
Yeah, and now Freddy has the power, and he's like trying to prove that he's better than Billy.
Isn't that what they did in the movie as well?
In the second one, I think.
Yeah.
I think in the second one. Read through this, the Penguin special.
Oh, last week's, yeah.
Yeah, this is from last week. Sadly, there was no army of penguins with rockets on their backs. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, and the first
But-
start, it was okay.
I liked it. This though, man, taking all kinds of turns. I did not. What are you doing, Mark? What are you doing?
I loved it.
I-
So did I.
I know he's got to have like a back door or
Dude.
an exit strategy, but
No, maybe-
on, dude.
Maybe he's gone. Because
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Breen and I is like, Breen's like, you got to read. He's like, what? What's so? I'm like, and like, they did what they said they're gonna do. I'm like, no
Absolutely
way.
wild. There's got to be something though. He's got some third act thing planned. It's gonna be nuts. This was all right. The art in this was really good. I really enjoyed Sean Isaac's final issue. This is the Green Arrow
Double size
annual. It goes back and forth like Arrow. It does like there's this story and then there's this story. So there's Oliver Queen fighting what was that guy's name? What was the guy's name? Firefly? Was that the Batman villain? Firefly?
The guy
He-
can fly around. He has a torch.
Yeah, so basically Green Arrow has his own version of that, but he doesn't fly around and he's just called Firestarter. So Green Arrow fights
Firebug.
yeah, not Firebug, just Firestarter. So in one story, Green Arrow is fighting him, and he has like these little kid sidekicks that he ends up getting temporarily. And then the other, it's just like these different highlight points from Green Arrow's past. The boat accidentally on the island, all the different people that he
Are
encounters.
you gonna pick up the Chris Condon
Yeah, I'm gonna try the Chris Condon. Sure am.
condom?
Condon.
I'm pretty sure it sounds
I know, I
like
heard that
That's
too.
not what it sounded like what you said.
All just like looking for things to
No,
pick.
you
No,
go back,
no, you
go back
actually
and
said
check the videotape.
Ultimates number 6. This has been my favorite issue so far. This is you see the whole team in one book. It's not just individual like little recruit so and so here and there. This is the whole team in this. I love the whole. It's basically Maestro, but with Iron Fist powers, which is really cool. It's
That's
a
what
really
it sounds
cool
like, and
development.
that's why I'm not a fan of Maestro.
Is that
I dig it a lot. Yes.
your underrated former LSU quarterback just had about 60-yard touchdown pass?
It's
Go
like you get
Joe!
it's like getting a text notification, a sport update.
Joe Burrow,
Hey,
man,
we got
I'm here
important
for
things.
it.
The season's on the line.
I'm
The
here
Bengals
for
are
it.
about to go 14 on the Ravens.
I thought you were watching
on the
basketball. now.
road.
Nothing about the anime. Oh, it's a McFarlane toy thing, Jackson.
Dude,
that's all it is.
I have free money. I got as a gift card. I was
Free
like,
money.
yeah, right. You know, free money. I like free money.
If
So-
only. Yeah, you and the government both.
Dude, they had a Frank Miller $700 like light up statue where he's like right in the lightning bolt.
You lost me
like-
at Miller. You lost me at Miller.
You
You
hate
said
Frank
Frank
Miller?
Cho?
Wow,
If you
confirmed,
said
hate
Frank
that, man.
Cho,
Watch
I'm there
lightning.
for.
He-
But,
Not
Great
myself.
issue overall. A lot of action. I thought they were going to go another way in one scene. It felt very Ultimatum from the other Ultimate Universe. I'm glad they didn't repeat that. Also, there's some very big Jonathan Hickman vibes in here because, like when Doctor Doom, he says the whole "all hope lies in Doom." That was a very big reference to, I think it was to Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four run. I have not read through these yet. I do have The Moon is Following Us, issue number 2. I have Rook Exodus, issue number 6.
Another fun book.
I have Absolute Wonder Woman. I have not read this one yet. That is issue number 1. Dick Tracy, number 5. All of these I have not read yet. That is how
You
crazy
can eat
I've
that
been.
Wonder Woman.
I have Defenders of Earth 2 and 3.
Valley kicks in.
What's that?
That issue.
Defenders of the Earth. Number
Oh,
3
it
of the
kicks in
series finally
3?
starts kicking in.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Good to know. Prodigy, Slaves of Mars, issue number 2.
The Indentured Servants of Mars.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. And then I
Good.
have Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, issue number 1. So these are all books that I have not read. My top 2 books of the week, though. My number 3 would be Ultimates number 6. My number 2, though, is Absolute Superman. This was a great book. I enjoyed this a lot. I thought that the change up was neat. I like how Superman has
All
a
right.
suit that talks to him and changes. I also like how his fists, like how they glow with the solar energy. I dig that. That's
So,
cool. That's
is
some
I,
cool.
that-
I can ask you, where would you rank this among the other Superman books that you've read?
I mean, Tomasi's is my goat personally. I prefer Tomasi's run over the other ones that I've read. I haven't read too many other Superman ones. I've read a little bit of Byrne.
Would you rank this higher than Byrne?
I don't know if I'd rank it higher. It's different. It's like comparing Absolute Batman to,
An edgier version of Frank Miller?
Nightfall. Like Nightfall. I don't care for Frank Miller. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I'm sorry.
It's funny
Ash, if
because
you're
it's funny that you don't
watching.
like Frank Miller, but yet you're reading an Absolute Batman, which is an edgier version of Frank Miller's character.
It's Nick Dragata draws so much better than Frank Miller. So much better than
But
Frank
Miller
Miller.
wasn't drawing, and that it wasn't him though.
This was a fun book. I particularly love that there are multiple, like, peacemakers are basically stormtroopers in this. So I love that.
But Zach,
What? What's
his
that?
left hand
Aw.
is bigger than his right hand.
And
The hands are equal. They are equal sizes and they are proportionate to his body.
my
He
only
has
question
little
is,
tiny AI hands.
so my question is, what happened to the Kent farm?
That's the thing. I'm sure they're going to expand on that in future issues. I that is one thing I'm curious about. I like how I did what was it in here? There was one part that I
This is also an older.
particularly cared
This is
for.
also an older Cal who was I guess Supergirl's age when he left Krypton.
He doesn't look that old.
He looks
Krypton?
old. He looks like
No,
he looks like he'll be about 14
this
years
is a
old.
child. This is a 10-year-old, maybe 12 years old at the most.
He was a
This is
baby.
child.
My point is,
Also, speaking of crypto, there's a crypto right
my
there. for you.
point though is that he was a baby when he originally left, and then his cousin was older than him.
You know what? I'm not gonna nitpick. This is
So
10
I
years
wonder-
old. 10 years old and down to me, that's a baby.
But you'll be really great though. They've never done this before. Is what if his parents, Jor-El and Laura, came with him from Krypton to Earth?
That would be interesting.
That's what I was hoping for, but it doesn't seem that way.
I don't know that it'll go that way. I found, actually, as somebody that's, every time a Superman movie or something comes up, anytime they go back to Krypton, I kind of start to fall asleep. It's like, it never really interests me. I was actually kind of interested in this one. Hello, Imperial Goddess. I tried to watch one of your streams the other day, and I think you had just taken a break. So I was like, man, I just missed her.
Well,
So,
don't
hope you're doing
worry.
well.
If you showed up a half an hour late, she just started.
That's okay. I'll you know what? Let me switch off of Twitch. Let me go away from watching this stream. Let me go find another one to watch. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, I did the. I'm on stream site. I watch Les's live. I watch it.
Absolute Superman was good. I not as good as Absolute Batman, but I think it's still worth the read. I really enjoyed it. And then, of course, my number one. Nobody should be surprised by this if you know me. I actually sprung for the variant on this one. This is the Jeff Lemire variant. This is JSA number 1. I thought that it was going to be a double-sided because this picture is a double-sided picture. There's supposed to be like 8 more characters on this end here, but there's nothing. Just stupid action figure ads. Yeah, this though, man, you know what? If Jeff Lemire can keep each issue going like this, I'm okay with him replacing Jeff Johns because this was great. I love how the story starts with you kind of like right in the middle. Well, first of all, it doesn't start. It starts off with like in the beginning when the JSA and they start out referring to them as the mystery men instead of as superheroes. And I always like when they do that, when they refer to them as the mystery men. But once the story starts, like you're right in the middle. Like it looks like you're starting at like the end of Act 1 or like into Act 2. And I kind of dig that. It's like it just hits the ground running. And so basically you have two different story threads here. You have the Infinity Incorporated storyline where it's like a lot of the younger heroes are looking for the older ones because the older ones, the OG team, they've just vanished and they've ended up, we find out, in the Tower of Fate. So, there's Jesse Quick and Hourman, and I was sure DC forgot that those two were married. But here it's like, no, they're married, and here they are having a spat, which is also something because as much as I love the couple, they were a little too perfect in Jeff Johns' JSA. Like they were just like a perfect marriage. They never fought or anything. So it was nice to see a little bit of conflict here. Some stuff carrying over from Absolute Power, some continuity. I thought that was good. You see Sandy, not Wesley Dodds, but his sidekick, Sandy. Not sure I like the new suit.
Ooh,
with all
hooked
the
up with
purple.
Jade, apparently.
Apparently hooked up with Jade. Yeah. Just there's some interesting character dynamics going on here. Yolanda is being, aggressive and wanting to go out there and, and do
Obsidian,
stuff and not be passive. Obsidian, that first scene with Obsidian, I was like, dude, I knew you did stuff with shadows, but good Lord. There's just a lot of good stuff in here. The art is also fantastic. I love this artist now. I'm a huge fan.
We need to pause the Zach AI for a minute. Yes, because Bram says you're an AI. Well, we had to create an AI program because we had to get somebody who liked the books that Brandon and I didn't like.
I mean, you just got some awesome art in here. Alan Scott with the beard is also growing on me. I didn't know how to feel about it at first, but I'm kind of okay with it now.
Wait a minute. He's got a woman with him?
No, facial hair. This thing that I'm growing, the JD Vance look. If I had grown this out 3 weeks earlier, I could have had a great.
Up on JD Vance.
I could have been JD Vance for Halloween. I really could have been. She knows she voted for Trump. What are you talking about?
She knows that you have a crush on JD Vance.
I don't have a crush on JD Vance. I have a healthy admiration for the guy. He also likes Lord of the Rings.
Crush.
So
when you want to dress like him and be him, that's
he likes Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, JD Vance does. Yeah.
Oh man,
You have to find a new politician to back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I gotta go back and coach Jazz hands.
I mean, yeah, this was just fantastic. I had a blast reading it, just to give you a little taste of the art, little preview here. And I was kind of missing Jesse Quick's the Liberty Bell costume, but the one here with the trench coat and the Flash costume, that's kind of growing on me. I'm getting used to it.
This art looks like a combination of John Romita Jr. and Scott Collins.
I'm okay with it though. I dig it.
I'm not saying it's bad because the two of them together are better than either one. I mean, that's better than either one of those two individually. But that kind of looks like an amalgam of those two.
So Rex and his wife are basically arguing back and forth. I'm like, is that normal or is this?
No, that's what I'm saying. So like, if you go back and read Jeff Johns' JSA run, Rick and Jesse like never fought. They were always like the Ward and June Cleaver. They were just always like happy and everything.
She's more like, I'm a feminist now.
No, not that she's a feminist. If you read Absolute Power, she was one of the ones that had her power stolen, and Hourman did not. And so the fact that Hourman didn't go immediately try to rescue his wife and help her out, that gave her some issues, and I thought that was understandable. So I don't see I don't see her as being a feminist.
She's seriously power and out of character like that.
What's that?
Because that seems like it's out of character here. He wouldn't go.
It does seem out of character for Rick. I mean, now at the same time, in Absolute Power, you have a ton of characters that are involved in that, and so you they didn't do the Marvel thing where they gave you 1 million tie-ins. You had a good amount of tie-ins. I didn't read them all, but the JSA, for example, only really got one book dealing with Absolute Power.
Honestly,
the one that was written by Jeremy Adams.
If they really wanted to do a good JSA, they'd ignore everything else and just continue the Johns run.
Well, I mean, you have to acknowledge some of the overall. That's what the Jeff Johns JSA did, is stuff that was going on in canon, whether it was Infinite Crisis or the World War III stuff that came after that. Like, they had a lot of other canon events, or like when Identity Crisis happened. There was a lot of JSA stuff tying into that because Dr. Midnight and Mr. Terrific were the ones that were doing the autopsy on like Sue Dibney. So they've always had, canon stuff that was going on outside of DC affected the JSA. So I'm okay with them doing
not the
it
point where it
here.
changes the characters, like changes her, and
I don't think it doesn't change her though. I don't see where this changes her. I see Jeff Johns juggled 30 characters, and so yeah, he never showed Our Man and Jesse Quick having a fight. The fact that Jeff Lemire is like, hey, let's kind of dig into this and see like where this takes the characters.
Sorry, Superior, hold my beer.
It's not a size Superior. Good Lord, it's like you just want to pick fights. It was a great book.
I don't pick fights.
I think it's great. I think if Jeff Lemire can keep this going long term, I think that we have a really good JSA ongoing on our hands.
I don't pick my battles. I just survive.
Poorly, but that's it for me. I'm done.
You and Gloria Joyner.
All right, Mr. Breen.
What?
Tell us what we should be reading, Mr. Breen.
All right. First, I'll tell you what you should be just getting the cover and seeing if it's worth it just for that. But my number 5 is Cool Universe.
Ooh,
I keep
nice.
waiting.
That'd be a cool poster.
It's just there's a real good homage cover to the old Weird Science and Fantasy EC title that I almost got. It was only $1 more, but that I remembered it's going to be in a box, in a couple of days, so it doesn't really matter. So I decided to. Number 4, Josie and the Pussycats annual. As I said, disappointed that the news story was only 5 pages because I kind of like these news stories, and I was kind of hoping it would go a little longer. And then the rest of the book, there's a story, like I said, from the '60s, and then another one from modern times. But it's only $4, and I said it's nice, wholesome fun, and sometimes you need that, especially when the next one is the complete opposite. Nemesis.
My shop did not have Nemesis. I was kind of bummed out.
I gotta admit, I'm kind of. I don't know. This one didn't work. It's almost like there's only one issue left. It's gonna end, with some. It's gonna end like it's in the middle of the story. Still, nothing's gonna happen to him.
It reminds you of Red Hood.
And I know that we got the kid. We found out who has assembled the team.
Yeah,
it was his original partner, who's a complete piece of shit. So what difference does it make?
Well, to be fair, everyone in this whole entire story has been a piece of shit.
Yeah, I mean, I said we just get collateral damage, innocents getting killed left and right, and like I said, I'm starting to think now that what was that event? The big event from last year?
Big game.
That should have been the end of his story. It really should have, because I mean he's a good enough writer to come up with enough new characters, he's already got to populate what he's doing. This just really this was kind of, I read it, it's like, okay, it's over. All right. Okay.
He's got one more issue to basically get the money that he needs.
Yeah, but nothing's going to happen to him. And like I said, because he already paid the price in Big Game. He got over it, and now I mean,
well, I'll just say this: we didn't think about the other character in Nightclub, so
no, you can kind of see that coming. Nothing's going to happen in Nemesis. All right, number 2, Kill All Immortals. I'm gonna say that I the last page, she shot the phone out of his hand. She didn't shoot him, because that's the even the thing for the next issue said what'll happen to her life and her love, and that's a way to let him back in the game. Turn the ball over in Baltimore territory. Good job, Joe. So that's what I think. I don't think he's not dead. That's my prediction.
No, but I mean, like, I did not expect him to act the way he was going to send it regardless. So,
oh yeah. Well,
so I mean, if she bumped him off at this point, I was like, dang, I don't feel any remorse for the guy.
They made too big of an issue out of do what you got to do, Frey.
Yeah.
And because he said that 2 or 3 times during the issue. And so, number one, my comic son and I agree.
I'm winning all day today.
This
Not
was
really.
number one because
Cheating? Kamala? Winning all day?
Shut up.
I found a bunch of votes dropped off in my mailbox this afternoon.
There was a check in there too saying keep your mouth shut.
Yeah. I mean, this was number one because this was not, there's 2 reasons. Not a big week. 2 books. I said I like Kill All Immortals a lot, but I really miss reading superhero stories, and most of them aren't anymore. This was close enough, and I like the twist at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know that this might be the only time that JSA is ever number one in that week, because I can already say that I don't care what they do, it's never going to be as good as Goyer and Johns.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
no
That's
other
fair.
reason, comics have too many new rules that make it impossible for it to be. But this was enjoyable. As it did have pretty decent art. Jay Garrett. Now, Zach, I can't believe you were even able to. I know why you didn't get this cover. Look at Jay's 2 hands. I mean, my God, that one's got pixel fingers for Jay.
Look, I really like the Jeff Lemire one though, because I thought the Jeff Lemire cover was gonna be like a double-sided, have the whole team, but instead it's just like the 7
Probably
right
connecting
here.
cover or something.
Maybe issue number 2 will be a connection. That is not a bad cover though that you have, Breen. I like the cover A.
I mean, those fingers are gigantic.
He does a wraparound cover, right? The fingers on the other side. No.
I'm never gonna
they're
live
probably
this
probably
down.
on this part of the cover. So yeah, JSA number one. And I said I'll show a couple books here just for the heck of it, because they're close, and I've been reading. What I've been reading the last few days. The Fly.
Wow.
Number
Jeff
26. Shut up, Zach.
Help me.
Captain America.
I dig that. Wow,
Catherine
that's
Scat.
cool.
262.
That's neat.
Our Fighting Forces, a Kirby issue.
Nice.
Here's one that
Shoot.
here's one that'll get Vank's attention. Looney
Nice.
Tunes, number 73 from 19. Well, I'm gonna do it like Jambo. From 1947. Yeah, some other stuff in there, but I'm too lazy to reach for it. So that's not show a couple of.
Alrighty then. I guess we'll just wrap it up here then.
Next week, I think, is the new G.I. Joe number 1. And then I think the week
can't
after that is the new Justice League number 1. So there's a lot of cool number 1s coming out.
Is that a absolute, or is it an actual not?
What do you mean?
The Justice League.
Justice League is going to be main universe,
Okay.
not absolute.
Next week is Green Lantern, Batman Absolute, or Absolute Batman number 2.
Okay. Wait,
Yeah,
is
Joe.
Absolute Green Lantern next week?
No, just
Or is it
regular.
regular Green Lantern? Okay.
I thought, are they doing an absolute Green Lantern?
And Absolute Flash, which is also being written by Jeff Lemire.
I thought that's what the Elseworld was. What the other one where he just delays the Darkness, or what it's called? It was
What are you talking
Green Lantern
about?
Dark. It was Green Lantern Dark, wasn't it? Absolute Batman.
No, it's just going to be Absolute Green Lantern.
Well, next week is Batman, Absolute Batman. Then we also have Transformers 14, Green Lantern number 17, G.I. Joe number 1, Gotham by Gaslight, Kryptonian Age number 6 coming out.
Absolute Green Lantern does not come out until next March,
No.
so don't wait for it.
Space Ghost number 7's on next week. The new Terminator number 2, Witchblade number 5. And for those who are just going to keep punish yourselves, Epitaph from the Abyss number 5's out. Batman
that to
Uncovered.
yourselves.
I don't know if anybody reads that.
That's probably just like a cover book.
Yeah, it probably is.
Uncanny X-Men #5.
But next week, The Big Burn #2.
That's right. Finally. God,
That-
when did #1 come out? That was like 5 months ago.
Is that BURN or BYRNE?
BURN.
Yes.
It's these thieves
Hillary.
that pull a heist job in hell.
Johnny Quest.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny
Okay.
Quest. Yeah, so Johnny Quest #4. Hey, guess what? New Heatseeker book
Cool.
from Gun Honey. You know, yeah. So if you want to get another one of that character, I Like Popeye #3.
Nice. I love I Like
Dude, I like Popeye. Is that what it says?
Popeye, the Sailor Man.
Oh, I thought it was about chicken.
Barbarella #2.
God.
We also got a Gru Minstrel Melodies #3 through Dark Horse Comics.
I thought you meant Gru like Minions.
No.
We are going to steal the moon!
Dark Empty Void finally comes out. The second issue is out next
Story
week.
of my life.
Limited collector's edition of Batman #30
Doggone,
C37.
Geeky.
Another facsimile of that.
I don't know if it's next week, but I know one book I won't be getting. Green Arrow.
Oh, Chris Condon?
Yeah, he just announced he's leaving Twitter for Blue Sky because there's less fascists there.
I don't think many of these people actually know the definition of the word fascist.
No, they don't.
yeah.
But he wrote the most politically divisive story I've ever read, and that's saying something. In the first issue of Epitaphs from the Abyss, he's
Which one was that one again?
the one about the Republicans.
Oh,
using
yeah,
mind
that was
control.
him.
That was him.
Do you know
Fuck
what's
him.
Here's something though. He goes to Blue Sky, but guess what? We're on Blue Sky too, and we just share with the stupid shit they say on Twitter and make fun of them.
I kind of want to go back and pick up the last issue of Captain America by Straczynski because he's doing like a
You're gone
Spider-Man.
now. Sorry, I put you to behind.
It's a Spider-Man, Thor, and Captain America team up.
No, it's clickbait. Don't go into it. Don't go in there. It's not what you think it's gonna be.
Have you read it?
It's. Look, have you not read any of his stuff?
I stopped off at issue #5, I think 4 or 5.
I will say that Taki, whatever Taki Coates, whatever it was, where I was right before him,
Yeah,
had 6 solid better issues than he did.
Coates had better issues than Straczynski.
Yep, because Coates, the downfall is that he brought in the Daughters of Liberty. If he hadn't brought those in, that book was, my honest opinion, was actually a really good book series.
Interesting.
But Jackson says he got a small order from my comic shop. He's picking out. He brought in Commando War Stories, painting pictures.
Nice. I'm
See
okay
right there?
with this.
You know, and then he's got Dr. Moreau, Marvel movie premiere, Land Time Forgot. Oh, that's the one that has Will Ferrell, right?
Yes, there was also a classic television show before that.
It's called Dinosaurs on ABC, right?
No, that was
All right.
Yeah.
Reese's Pieces. Oh, look at that. Ralph one. Vampirella, classic. Then we got here. Commando War Stories are digest from England, all for $1. Probably send some to Easy Comic Reader. Alrighty. Unless he's got another paragraph he's typing up. But yeah. I'll just say this. If you want to check out Straczynski, do it through the dark web. You know, don't, or wait till you get like a 50-cent bin. A lot of the books that came out last year are already like $2 $1 books in my my bins at my shop. All the Batman stuff that nobody bought, Action Comics, they're going for like $1.50 or even $1. And some are actually down to 50 cents because they just had so many of them that nobody wanted.
You know what might contribute to that? Hiring writers that throw tantrums on social media platforms, and facing no. Seriously, But why would you let the brand new writer of a title that you are trying to maintain, announce that he's leaving X because of fascists? Basically, he's one of those assholes that thinks that everybody that supports Trump is a fascist Hitler.
Hey, Zeke Heil there, people. Yeah,
do these people really think that only leftists leftists buy comics. I mean, I said it shouldn't come down to that, but
No.
fuck. I mean,
But as we talked,
the Green Arrow is going to be,
I agree.
It takes talent to write to write.
I worked over 12 years in retail, and what we did, we didn't. Not once did Lowe's or Home Depot or any of these hardware stores tell you what their politics are.
Well,
they just sold the book.
Except for when
they sold the lumber. They sold this. There was no one in there saying like, and it's like, oh, you voted for Obama. Fuck you. I haven't helping you.
I don't care that Chris Condon is a leftist. That Texas Blood was excellent.
No,
Enfield Gang Massacre was excellent because
if you're trying to sell something, you don't piss them off by saying, well, yeah, those Trump people, they're Nazis. The customer is going to leave out the door because, like, you just called me a Nazi.
Hey, Chris, I know you're not watching, but just in case you are, come close. I want to explain this to you. The reason why the guy that got you so triggered that you're leaving X was just elected with not only the Electoral College but the popular vote is because fuckheads like you have been saying that half the country is shit for the last 15 years.
And garbage.
Yeah. So, you reap what you sow, dipshit.
This was the first time that the garbage took out the trash.
I love that.
There's a guy by the name of I forget his name. One of my favorite. He wrote Malefic and a few other things.
Wait, Target and Tractor Supply did what? They voted for Trump. They promoted Trump. I could see Tractor Supply, but Target's very.
Target had a tuck-friendly swim.
Target. Section, but I feel like they turned around. I think that a boycott seriously
they got a couple
hurt them.
Quarterly reports.
Yeah.
Their balls finally dropped
from the bathing suits,
or they fell out of the tux.
But I mean, it's like they should practice. Like I said, if these companies were serious and weren't just all activist companies, they want to make money. You don't alienate half the people that might be buying your books by calling them assholes.
When this stream started,
if I was running Marvel and DC and that guy said something, as we get a contract, guess what? I'd have a clause in there. If you start talking shit about politics on Twitter, I don't care what it is. You're gone because I don't want you bringing down.
Just interrupt our comics paw.
No, I think I interrupted.
Did you interrupt me after I interrupted my comics paw?
Yes, I did. I did interrupt you.
No,
yes.
But I mean, like, back in the day, when Stan Lee was in control of Marvel, if somebody would have been like, fuck Reagan, they would be gone from Marvel. They wouldn't be writing at Marvel. They had social media and that stuff.
It wouldn't have been Stan's decision by then, but I don't think.
But I know what you mean. Marvel, as a company back then, would have been like, "You're gone."
I like what he said. He said, there are politics in it, but he says story first, politics there, and if they get it, not. But they didn't take sides. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this: when this stream started, I was planning on checking out Green Arrow.
Yeah.
Now I'm not only not getting that, I'm thinking very seriously about not getting the next JSA, not getting the next Superman, not getting the next Green Lantern because I'm tired of this shit. I might keep the Batman out of continuity things that I'm reading. If that makes it selective hypocrisy, so be it. But I am tired of these self-righteous fuckheads shoving it's because I'm sorry, you can't ignore it when it comes to you.
If Jeremy Adams comes out and says he voted for Trump, guess what? He'll get fired. Because that's how hypocrites they are at the company.
It's okay. It's not that Condon voted for Harris.
No, it's because he's insulted people.
But I said, labeling the people that disagree with you in the most heinous terms possible, racist, Nazi, fascist. These people throw these words around to the point to where they've all lost any meaning or effect, but it's still the sentiment is there. So and sorry, your boy Zach, they may not hate us personally, but they hate
Oh,
the
they
Well,
do.
they
idea.
definitely
of
would.
They
us.
do.
They
They
met
do.
us. They wouldn't hate us. Because we'd speak up to them.
Well, they wouldn't hate us if they met us in person. They'd hate us online. But sometimes what's the difference? And
See,
all that's
I have
going
the
to do is
feeling that
cost you sales.
they wouldn't say anything to us, like someone like me and Breen to our faces because we're big enough that they probably think that
Yeah,
we
they
might
might
knock them
because
down.
they're unhinged.
Yeah, but
Some are cowards, though. Yes.
yeah, because like Breen, you look like you have a bit of size to you. I have a bit of size to me, and they probably wouldn't say something to someone our size.
Vegman's bigger than me. Zach's bigger than me.
No, I'm not.
I'm 5'9", and hey, I know how to use a gun.
I'm
So if
6
you
foot
think you're gonna
two.
because I'm a smaller
But
guy than you,
I
think you're gonna
meant
intimidate me? No.
I meant and I'm what 5'7", but I'm also very kind of intimidating in my size, not stature, but and I'm kind of
And that's
aggressive in person.
not why. The people I've found that like even Mark Wade is nice at shows until he starts flipping over tables. It's just you people feel a sense of power behind the safety of their keyboards, and
because they're raised that way. Because no
but,
one really gets in fights anymore.
it's kind of it's kind of annoying because I know Chris Condon has learned from Ed Brubaker, but apparently we all know. I know Ed Brubaker's politics.
Yep.
But he doesn't come out and tell me. He doesn't call me names for not agreeing with him politically. He just produces excellent work. Chris Condon was on the way and may still be that guy, but I can't support a guy that throws those labels around as casually as they do because
right.
It's counterproductive. I said I can't see this boosting sales on Green Arrow. Mm-hmm. Might boost piracy, but again, the audience that you've aligned yourself with is more apt to pirate than pay.
And
congratulations,
honestly,
you're the good guys.
Like I said, I'm probably one of the few that actually buys the books that they're reading online.
And that and this annoys me to no end. They will sit there and say shit like that, and and then complain about the consequences. There's consequences to what you say, good or bad, right? They say this stuff, and then when people voice their displeasure by not buying it or something like that, then they complain. Like who's that? Kelly Sue McConaughey or whatever her name was. And then they're not buying my books because you told us not to, you cow.
4 years ago, if you mentioned that you hinted that you read online, you were shunned. But now people are like, well, why? They can't fault for people reading online because why? Because look how they treat their customers. So why would you give them money? I'd rather just read your book and make fun of it, how horrible your writer are without paying you at all. Right? Right? Like, wouldn't you rather do that than then give someone money just to say, oh, I hate your book? No, I ain't got to give you any money. If anything, I go buy back issues from my shops and I support my local comic book shop because they're not making as much money as they would be if they actually had actual writers that respected the people that actually read the books and also respected the characters as well.
Oh, and Glisner, there still is that chance, by the way.
No. Like I said, I used to be like Geeky. Like I said, you blind bought a book. You had no idea anything about it. You just picked it up because it looked cool cover. I did that when I started reading comic books in the early 2000s. Now, when I came back in 2019, I was hesitant. I was only picking up Josh Williamson Flash. Even I admit it, when Jeremy Adams came out, I was like, oh no, I don't know about this Dr. Alchemy, whatever, tie-in for Flash. It looks kind of weird, and then I was like, then I realized like this guy actually really cares about the character. And then they shifted to Wally, and I was like, heck yeah, about time. No, so like I said, I've been cautiously picking up books, following the writers. I never used it because Breen and Angleton would always be like, oh yeah, talk about certain writers they like. I'm like, you guys follow the writers? I never really did that. You know, I just picked up a
You've
book
got to nowadays.
because every book I picked up when I first started reading comics in the early 2000s were just every book I was picking up. Whether I didn't have to preview anything, I enjoyed the book. But now it just seems like any book I pick up now, it's like I'm afraid to because I've been burned so many times, especially paying like $5 for a book. Hell, even $3, $3.99 for a single issue, and you hardly get any story. You get more ads. And then the book itself is like, oh, this is meant for like a 12-issue story arc.
Which could have been done in about
I
4
hate,
issues or 5.
I do not like world building when it takes like more than one issue. I'll forgive it for one issue, but if you're world building for like 3 or 4 issues, at what point do you expect the get wrapped up the story? 30, it can take you 30 issues to tell what it normally would take back in the day, 2 issues, a 2-part story. I don't like that anymore. The whole writing for the trades, and I can understand why a lot of people just go buy the trade instead of waiting every a month, a month and a half sometimes. Wow, everyone's just leaving me on camera by myself. Zach's muted. Geeky's muted. Breen's
sorry, I have a phone call to take. Let me know when we get back to talking good stuff about comics.
We are talking about good stuff about comics.
yeah, I'm talking about the original comic books, not the new ones today.
There's a guy by the name of Dan Schaefer. I love his stuff. I've talked to him all the time online. The guy is a complete lib, but you will read his stuff. You can sort of see how he feels, but he doesn't throw stuff. He tries to keep it, even.
Like you said, I'll take a Zach Kaplan book over anything Marvel DC these days.
And he doesn't throw people's stuff.
Jeremy Adams is one of the few names that I'll pick up from DC. Williamson has some good stuff, but even then, when the corporate says you got to include this in here, it suffers. It basically story suffers. It happened with Adams as well when they put these stupid vents in.
I don't understand why. I mean, this has been happening for years with the comics. Their sales have been shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, and they keep doubling and tripling down. And they can't. It's like they don't actually see why it's happening, or they don't want to see why.
Well, they know. At this point, there's so many. Like I said, they have there's an inner war going on at DC. There are those. You got the Mark Wades. You got the Chris Condons that want to write a certain way. And then you got the other ones who are like Jeremy Adams, who's actually actually trying to put in the effort and actually get customers in. But then after he does all this stuff, with the stories, and then you have someone like Cy Spirit comes in a book and just says, yeah, fuck all that stuff, that noise with Wally West prior to this. I'm going to ruin the title for people. And it kicks people off the book. Especially someone who just got into the Josh Williams and they're starting on the Jeremy Adams, and then they hear, well, Cy Spurrier is killing the book. They're like, well, why should I even bother continuing with the Jeremy Adams? I'll just quit because I don't want to be stuck on a cliffhanger where we're wanting more of a really good book. It's it's like it's starting a TV series and then you hear it get canceled, and then it leaves on a cliffhanger. Like, why even start?
Listen, it's a lot of them are Marvel and DC because Marvel and DC will hire them. Most of the people who are
stepping stones.
Most of the people who are not that way are forced out, so they have to go to independents and crowdsource. There are some stuff in other companies, but there's not many of them.
At DC, the problem is, you got people there that want to write good comic book stories, which puts Jeremy Adams, Mark Waid, and those two on the same side of the the conflict, and you've got the other side that wants to hire trans activists to turn characters trans, like Justia Axelrod or Joanne Starner or any of these activist writers that they keep hiring. But even the people writing good stuff, like I said, when Mark Waid does, does he not see how embarrassing that tweet came across? I mean,
he probably thinks it's brilliant.
like Dalda says, they all live in their fantasy land, so they don't know.
He must, because that's, like I said, that is embarrassing. Chris Condon is just inflammatory. That's you made your position clear.
Mm-hmm.
Go run to Blue Sky and getting in. Elon Musk took away your echo chamber, so now you have to go run to another one. Fine, but when you are trying to sell a product to the public,
Don't
maybe
insult the
keep
public.
that shit to yourself. At least when the
Nice.
first couple issues are out, and we find out it's so great that we'll buy it no matter what your fool ass says on social
Like
media.
Brian, there's a reason why you're seeing me picking up these now, and I'm picking up, this. It's like because the kids' books are starting to become better than like what's currently in the superhero stuff.
Yep.
It's because they don't want to write good stories. They want to write mediocre stories,
And
then the other half
less
wants to write self inserts or just activism, stuff like when John Kent was Superboy was an activist and all. It's all it was. It's him being an activist. It's not being a hero,
Glenzer, I think for now it will primarily be the people at Marvel and DC, because they are literally playing with house money and other people's money. The
Yeah.
independent companies that have to make money, most of them are smart enough to where we have a pretty good idea where they all vote. But again, if you're not shoving it in again, you can tell me Jeff Johns could lead off every post he ever does with, I voted for Kamala. But as long as he doesn't tell me I'm a fascist because I didn't, I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's the line, the distinction that these idiots can't seem to grasp. Like I said, for Chris Condon, it just might as well translate into, please no longer buy any of my work. Okay.
Well, we're talking the bats
that.
but remember we're talking the bats on Tuesday. He said he had a friend who doesn't follow social media, so he has no idea what Mark Waid's done over the years. What they're posting, Chris Condon.
Good for him.
And honestly, if we weren't doing YouTube, I don't think we'd be on social media. Would you think we'd be checking all this stuff, Breen?
I promise you, given the nature of those tweets, it's gonna bleed into his Green Arrow writing. I promise.
Probably. Well, we talked about this because we're gonna see some books good for a while, and then they're gonna start getting Orange Man bad because they're angry because their side lost.
Yep.
All right, guys. I had to break up this love fest. I've got to get to bed. I've got another 6 a.m. day tomorrow.
Yep. And I got to get up in.
All right, you guys have
4
fun.
hours, 10 minutes.
Tuck each other in.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure.
Hey,
y'all have a good one. I'll
that's
catch
why
y'all
he's
on the flip
backed up.
side.
That he's sitting right next to me, man. So, anyway, I'll see you guys later, man.
See you, Jeff.
Yep. Like I said, there are still some good books, but like I said, there are also a lot of bad books out there too. For those of you who haven't read a single comic book in the past 20 years, and you're kind of afraid to dip in because, well, it's a lot of money to invest in something you're going to hate, and especially those who hate read because they're like, okay, I want to see what's going next, even though you're not liking where it's going, but you're like, I can't miss an issue. People who are the completionists covers. I've done that. I did that with Jessica Jones. Fortunately, I don't do that in comic books. Jessica Jones, that series got so bad. I watched this first season. I was like, okay, it's okay. I liked it. Second season, whoa, what's going on here? Third season is like, it's like you just got kicked myself in the nuts, and I'm like, I go back for more because I wanted to see how bad will they treat this character, and it was painstakingly awful. I had to sit through that like what? How many episodes were there? Like 6 or 7. They're like 45 minutes long. Ugh. No, so hey, I sat through Batwoman too, so don't tell me ugh, man. Anyway, though, like I said, independent books I don't get CTDS in indie books at all.
No,
So I would say the specific ones. There's like the popular IPs like this. I didn't see anything like this usually in any of these politics, diversity and that stuff. It's just straight up the IPs. And I wonder because the people who really own DuckTales, the family, if they're still around, the state, don't want that crap. You know, where Archie, I mean, I don't know who really owns that. You know, what estate owns that. You know, but and like I said, I'm picking up back issues. I could find a really awesome back issue of Spider-Man. Do I care? I mean, I as much as I love Ultimate Spider-Man, I still love the original Amazing Spider-Man way better.
Oh, I wish I wish there was a in continuity Spider-Man book worth reading, but there isn't.
Yeah, no. And as I was watching Wes, he's like, how long before Ultimate Spider-Man, before this all ends? And like he said, he's also talking about how, like I said, I remember I said like New Wonder Woman. It felt like it was New 52.
Yeah.
With Absolutes, this whole Absolute universe, it sounds like they're trying to redo the New 52.
And that's a fair assessment.
I was wondering too, because I was like, imagine if it's the 52 had not, if they did done it like they're doing now, had not done it where it interrupts the current, and they would have had the original, Jump Johns 2011, you know, the all that stuff. 52 kept going, and then 52 was on the side. I wonder how well that would have been, you know. And I think back then they actually had better writers. I think that actually would have been sold better, you know. But I don't know how long this ends before they decide, you know, if they want to tell on this too. But I don't know. Like I said, if you guys are enjoying these new Absolute books, that's more power to you. But I'm hesitant to invest really into Marvel or DC because they have a tendency of canceling books that I like. You know, I never got a chance to read all of the Venditti Hawkman, but that was right on the chopping block with Batman Beyond when I was reading that by Dan Jurgens. I mean, Dan Jurgens writing an ongoing DC that went with the 50 issues. You know, I don't think I'll ever see that again in DC.
Yeah, but it won't be. It won't be anything like Batman Beyond. It'll be, you know, just a mainstream title.
Once like you're asking about the Aaron one, was it Marvel? No, I'm not a fan of Jason Aaron. Not because of his politics. I just never really enjoyed his writing.
To even, I mean, I'm sure we know his politics, but
yeah,
he didn't put his politics in his books. He doesn't. Bad ideas.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm just not a fan of this
stuff. I mean, he's a male feminist. That's obvious.
Yes,
but yeah. By the way, the Ravens are just toying with the Bengals at this point.
Right.
So I'm kind of distracted. They were up 21-7, and they're going to get beat bad.
Let's see here. It says, haven't walked in LCS since 2004. It's the Bay Area. Y'all don't even know. I buy Masterworks, also known as Governworks, on this channel, and Omni's online and comics from Ease Auction. Jackson says, that's why I get trades and old floppies. I will pick up some of the licensed stuff, Space Ghost, Johnny Quest, Flash Gordon, but even then, as trades. Brian says he got some great books from Ease Auction as well, which is, like I said, a shameless plug here, I guess, for he. If you do like older books and you want to get them for sometimes complete sets or even just to try a standalone issue, E's got some really cool books. He always has these auctions. From like Bronze Age to Copper Age, I'd say.
What's that?
Ease books are usually those Copper the Bronze Age, or what are those? Nothing really into the 2000s. No, it's usually the 90s is the I think the newest he gets. But a lot of cool books. Marvel, DC, a lot of indies, and yeah, that's usually around 8 Eastern on Saturdays.
Yep.
Okay. And I love comics. Yeah. Favorite book tonight was Marvel vs. DC Omnibus, says Glinzer. The Halcyon Days? Halcyon? How do you pronounce it?
Halcyon.
Halcyon? It's a weird word. Saw the book, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to get it. I heard people say they enjoyed it. I mean, I can't imagine Jason Aaron ruining a Uncle Scrooge book, but then again, it's current Marvel. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'd rather encourage you to go back and get the gemstone, or go back all the way back to the 1950s. Or, in fact, you know what? I encourage you more. If you can, get the get the either the Don Rosa or the Carl or the Kyle. Was it Carl Brooks? Yeah,
Call Barks.
Barks. Sorry. Get those. Get those little. They're like $25, I think, or more. Like the libraries, you have the thick hardcovers. Or you can go online. I mean, if you really don't want to buy physical, if you just want to read them, go to Comixology. Comixology, they have them there. You can actually buy them through Amazon physical, or you can get the Kindle. That's what I use when we go on to read on the channel here. I use the Comixology version. They're like $20 through Comixology digital, but I think they're like more. I think because they're out of print, they're probably more expensive. But let's see here. I personally am back to Long Suffering Spouse again with Iron Man. Oh, book needs a decent writer and artist. Stat. Marania, nothing exists at Marvel after 2012. Just go back and read the Mike Grell one from the 90s. Jackson says, on occasion, Golden Age and Silver Age. Okay. E has had a few early 2000s at times. Yeah, probably like I said, like the Goyer JSA stuff, you know. Sadly lacking a wonderful timekeeper, but we understand if she's not able to make it. Well, that's because she's having more fun here on while they're doing the auction. We're actually reading Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles through Archie publications, and just had a lot more fun. Let's see here. Bengals should be ashamed, man. Go back in the sports talk through Glinzer. 16 says about lots of Vec issues, but the first appearance of Uncle Scrooge McDuck. Nice. You know, it'd be really cool if they came out with like a little bin, like a little. Well, you know, you can have. You ever seen those where Uncle Scrooge has his like in a glass case? He has his first dime, or something like that. If they made a replica of that, like in a little case, and you can have it on your desk, it's like Uncle Scrooge, like his first dime. Like that'd be awesome. His quarter, whatever it is, you know. And then let's see here. Glinzer says I have the U5. Okay, now we're talking about sports. Can't read those off, bro. If you want me to read sports comments, you gotta leave super chats. But
yeah,
anyway,
yeah. If the Bengals score a tying touchdown, it hits the over. And Glinzer has the under, so he's rooting for Baltimore now. I don't think you have to worry. Yeah, there's an interception in Burrow's immediate future. This is just not a good team. They're not.
I thought he was only an artist.
They're not capable of beating a good team. They're proving it again tonight. And if you're a Bengal fan, sorry about your damn luck, because Zach Taylor is here for the long haul.
So being a Bengals fan, is that like being a Detroit Tigers fan?
Kind of.
Just cats can't win in sports.
Yes, it's the Bengals just had a two-year stretch where they went to the Super Bowl and honestly got robbed of a return appearance.
Mm-hmm.
But now they've got deep into the playoffs talent. But those 2 years mask the fact that we have a terrible coaching staff and a head coach that is in way over his skis. And because they're losing they're playing all the best teams in football and losing all the games against the best teams in football close.
Jeez.
At some point, it's coaching.
All right. We got Jackson dipping out, so there's no cover ranking. He's going to take advantage of it and go to bed. You know, you say that, but the minute your head goes to hit the pillow, you're like, I can't fall asleep. Brian's also basically calling it a night. Thank you for showing up, guys. Lindsay says this year being a Bengals fan is like being a Cowboys fan.
Holy shit! Something big must be about to happen because
I know, because he's a
like a 90-yard touchdown pass. No wonder he's going nuts. Get in the end zone, you fool! Wow, Bengals tied the game. Sorry, Cleanser. They're still going to lose, but we all lose now.
I figured that's what happened because he said "son of a."
Yeah, and I'm so far behind. I knew. I said, "Wow, Chase has 2 touchdown catches for like 70 plus, 2 different ones for like 70 plus yards tonight."
Jeez.
And this is what makes it so frustrating. I'm watching. I know with 100% certainty that Baltimore wins this game.
You know what's funny though? You mentioned the 90 yard touchdown passes. It reminds me of Favre. That's when I used to watch.
I think it was probably
football.
70, but yeah, still.
But Favre would throw those wild Hail Mary passes because he didn't want to get sacked with the ball, so you throw it, and I'd say roughly about 15% of the time they connect.
Well, I mean, this was a design play. I mean, the first one was a slant pattern, and it was mostly Chase running with the ball.
Yeah.
This one was thrown 50 yards downfield. Yeah, 75-yarder because it was first play.
Yeah, he gets
he threw the ball. Yeah, every bit of 45, 50 yards in the air, and
like I said, you get those catches from Sterling Sharp, and those are sweet. Some of those.
It's just because there's no question this is as good a quarterback receiver tandem as there's been in the league in a lot of years, and they're going to be wasted, on mediocre coaching and deficiencies in other positions.
When I heard this, I didn't realize it was Jay. I thought somebody else was making fun of Jay being Cowboys fan. It's much worse.
Oh, it is.
But it's
now,
Jay.
And what the Bengals and the Cowboys have in common is they're the only 2 teams in the NFL that don't have general managers.
True. And this is also true. The Hail Mary isn't about how good the quarterback is, but how good the receiver is. And like I said, when he throw those wild passes, man, when they connect, I've never seen grown men cry before and jump up and just just yell, because those are some sweet catches. And those plays, you get those touchdowns, man, they're awesome. But there'd always be like a flag on the play. And like, who cares what the flag? We got the touchdown. But oh no, did I share that with you? Did you see that there were the guy? It was the Bears versus Packers, and they kicked the field goal of the extra point and went over the net, and the guy jumped and caught it on the fans because he jumped into where the walkway is. He jumped about 10 feet down and caught it, and he ran and they interviewed him. The guy looked like Kevin Costner a little bit, a young Kevin Costner, Bill Paxton kind of look. He's like, oh yeah, I prayed bull and stuff. It's like, I was like, yeah. He's like, I like it and stuff. It's just like, man, Bear fans are crazy. I thought Packer fans are crazy, but Bear fans are just nuts. Oh man. Or how bad the defensive secondary is what says Cleanser. Alrighty though. So there's no cover ranking tonight. There will be one tomorrow, but as far as tomorrow's readings, I am not sure what we're reading tomorrow night, but it'll be something fun. But I don't know. Maybe we'll pull out a JSA title and read one a JSA story for an issue. It really depends on who's available. I think Pixel will be around tomorrow. Hopefully Trusty is. We'll have the girls. And then we'll go from there. But maybe Avengers title. Maybe we'll get another Ultron story. Any preference for you tomorrow?
Nah.
Nah. Not even another Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse.
No, I said, I always end up enjoying whatever we do, so that's all right. They telegraphed that good. Stop them. Good.
Cleanser saying Tim Lim's Trump Space Force. I don't know if that has enough parts for everybody, but I mean, I've never read it before, but it looks kind of cool. But I know what you're kind of hinting at because there's a certain video that got dropped today, docu-series, as I guess they call it.
What's that?
It's the Comicsgate thing. Guy basically, I forget what his name was. It was Mark something or something. He basically dropped a video talking about the history of Comicsgate and everything, starting off with Captain Cummings and yeah, all the way through, and just like it's like a 2-hour video. And these guys separated in chapters, so you can and
does he get mentioned?
E gets mentioned. Cummings gets mentioned. Tim Lin, Doug Ernst, Doug Apple. Mike S. Miller, War Campaign, everything. Even Box Day, all that stuff. And you know what's good is when EVS says, "Oh, this is lies." So if you have 2 hours and you want to spend this watching a docu-series, and like I say, I don't care about Comicsgate. I only reason I know about it because Undead Quinn shared it in our Discord servers. But holy crap, I was like, and I saw it was 2 hours. I was like, guy uploaded a 2-hour video, broken into chapters, each title, and the guy who's doing the narration talking has a sweet voice, man. I was like, I'm surprised he is on a bigger channel, but it dropped 2 days ago, but whatever. I guess I saw it today. And he is on camera, quoted in the first bit. But nothing negative against E. Unranked Chevron is in there too as well. So they, I think that's from the hot dog debate. They did clip from that too. So there's Jay's even in there at the 7-minute mark. He's now famous.
Jay,
yeah, Jay Lucian.
Is he?
Yeah, because he was on a panel with they was talking to E about, because remember how E talks about Comicsgate nonstop once in a while. So they took one of those clips, and then Jay happened to be on the panel on Isle Comics, and so he's like they're talking about it, and like he just got clipped in there too. I was like, oh, people are like, who the hell is this guy? Yeah. So like I said, it's it goes all the way from the very beginning all the way through Repa. If I'm not mistaken, but I don't know. Like, for those who are like, I don't care about Comicsgate, well, don't watch it. Don't worry about it. But I just thought it was interesting. I was like, wow, someone actually took 2 hours of their time to go through this, get a lot of footage clips put together, and just work on this. I'm wondering how long it took them to do this, but geez, but it's got over 14,000 views.
Wow.
Or something like already in the first day or first 2 days, because it's a popular subject. He starts off talking about Gamergate and then goes into Comicsgate. So Gamergate, I had no idea what the hell that is until people started talking about it in the comic book community and stuff. But otherwise, I didn't know it existed. 2019 is when I joined the YouTube as far as any comic book community stuff. Actually, the end of 2018, early 2019, because that's when I met you, and like we're in East chat and stuff. Like I said, I had no idea about any of this stuff, and then I had no idea that he had been around since 2016, along with Captain Cummings and Fergal and what's his name, Zach, your boy Zach, Zach Richards. Is that his name? Richard? Which one's ours? I don't know. I don't know the list.
Richard Meyer is
Richard Meyer. Okay, yeah,
your boy Zach.
Yeah, and and like I said, it doesn't paint E in a bad light at all. I said the only one who looks bad is the EVS. But anyway, Marani says I was there when Ingleton did his first live stream in the hurricane. I was also there when EVS leapfrogged from his appearance on his live stream to grift on sheeple. once he says, I don't need to watch it. I live through it. Fair enough. Like I said, there's a lot of people who have never even heard of Confiscate. I go to a comic book store and I go to ask if it's like, do you know what Confiscate is? They have no idea. They don't even know what Gamergate or Pizzagate is. So like I said, like this YouTube like drama is so niche to the point where you only know about it is if you get into the comic book community and start watching videos about stuff, and then even then you have to search for it. Unless somebody, because like I said, it's like the music industry. There's a lot of people come out with the same kind of stuff, but you know,
well, that's just A lot of people make the mistake of thinking that Twitter is real life.
True.
What we do here reaches a very small percentage of people,
well,
even the biggest.
I doubt I'm moving the needle at all. I mean, it's not my goal either. My goal is just to hang out.
We're not going to change any hearts and minds, but people with larger reaches, like a Mark Waid doing the stupid shit that he does, that will, and that does not help their cause.
No,
as I said, we can't get people to not buy a Mark Waid book anywhere nearly as effectively as Mark Waid can get people to not buy a Mark Waid book.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just here having fun and basically
that's all it is.
To our own little echo chamber. But
I'm here to have fun, talk about comic books. I mean, like I said, though, I could care less about comics being really, It's just I saw it popped up, but it's not something like like, oh, I'm offended by it or I love it. I'm just it's like it's there. Okay, cool. Like I said, it's kind of like current comic books today. I've changed as far as what because what's putting out the quality. I've gone from being completely just Marvel to jumping into DC, reading Flash, reading Superman, and kind of bailing out of that and just going into this. Because this is what I grew up with as a kid. This was before me when I was a kid. But it's still fun, though. That's why it's still around. There's a reason why RG's still around. Because it's such an overall entertaining book. For anybody. Any Milkshake Crew photos after the Trump win? I'm not really paying attention. Like, that's another thing. Like, the whole milkshake thing, I don't think I was around for it, and people bring it up, and I always forget about it. The only reason I know the name Zoe Quinn because I watched like 20 minutes of that video today. Otherwise, I forget about Zoe Quinn. Kelly Sue DeConnick is another one. Unless somebody brings up Aquaman, I don't talk about these people because that's how little they matter to me. If you say the milkshake incident, I'd be like, did somebody get a bad milkshake? That's what I think of. I don't think about comic books related. Like, what the hell is that comic books related? Milkshake. So, but I can hear you though. For those who live through this stuff, you're done talking about it. So, and then that's it. I was just saying I saw an interesting video that it was posted in Discord, and if you want to watch it, reach out. I'll send you the link or whatever, or I'll tell you where to go. But if you don't, I don't care. But like I said, I hope you guys saw something that we showed up tonight that maybe you're like, you know what? Even if it's not a new book you want to go buy, maybe you're inspired because you watched us and you're like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm going to go visit my LCS. Cleanser, like, if you go to your LCS and just pick up older issues, to me, that's like, I feel like I've helped you more with that just hopefully it inspired you to get back into the hobby. I know you're going through E, but I mean, like, support your LCS if you can, because sometimes your LCS has cool stuff. You might even have quarter bins. Mine does. I lucked out. I do appreciate you guys coming in. My only issue is when somebody comes in here and is like, I haven't read comic books in 40 years, and then tries to tell me that current comic books, all of them suck because they watched a YouTuber who told them that they sucked. Like, that's my thing.
Unless that YouTuber was me, in which case then it's perfectly acceptable to say.
Like I said, I don't want people to be sheep. Like, as I wanted you guys to have your own opinions and stuff. Don't take everything I tell you for face value. Or as far as like I said, this book's really awesome. you know, if you want to check it out, check it out. Mm-hmm.
We're about 5 minutes away from the Bengals losing yet again to another good team.
It's kind of reason why I'm still kind of like listening in, because I'm like, we can really tight it. See how it goes.
Oh, Baltimore's about to score. It's 2 minutes left, and yeah, so it's a foregone conclusion. So I said, yeah, I guess Cowboy fans, they're getting beat bloody. Bengal fans just like death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Jeez.
This 3rd and goal. Yeah, at the very least, they get a field goal, and Cincinnati would have to drive the field, and then I can smell an INT. Ugh, oh well. I'm not really that invested. I just gets frustrated when it's the same script over and over.
Right.
Baltimore had an 85-yard touchdown play where the receiver was almost tackled for no gain, got away, was tiptoeing down the sidelines, and Bengals receiver or defender pushed him, but instead of pushing him out of bounds, he pushed him downfield. Oh, and Baltimore just went ahead with a touchdown. So this is over. And it turned into like an 85-yard touchdown reception.
Lindsay saying it's not over. 41-35. OT, let's go. You just never know about the cardiac kids. Now, so you see cardiac kids are like, is that comic book or sports reference there?
Yeah, that was a nickname given to the Browns one year.
Oh, the Cleveland Browns. I haven't heard
cardiac
any
kids.
They're not the Cleveland Browns anymore. What are they? What's their new title?
No, they moved to Baltimore, but then they created an expansion franchise in Cleveland and called them the Browns. So depending on who gets the history, I would say the Ravens do, because that was the same franchise.
Yeah.
But I think some historians count this Cleveland Browns team with that Cleveland Browns team, which makes no sense because they literally moved from Cleveland to Baltimore as a franchise. So that's
Moran. Yeah, I miss Weaponized Nerd Rage shows about Slaughter Octavius. You know what? I miss this the sand belt story, the sandpaper belt story.
Yeah, I don't need to hear that one again.
It's a classic. You gotta hear that at least once every Christmas. No, I didn't know that Weaponized Nerd used to stream with EBS. That was the thing. That's one thing I learned from that video. I was like, see who's on the Hangout calls.
Yeah,
the Google Hangout calls. Like I never really, like, not that I say that there's anything wrong with that. I never thought that Nerd Rage was really that heavy into the comic book stuff. I thought he was more like a movie guy. So
I want to say at one point he was into comics, but just like Comics Division and others, they
realized
they were driven completely out. Yeah.
I mean, whether being positive or being negative about comic books, there really isn't that much of they make money off everything. Like I said, when like Wes is unfortunately doing well because he's able to, he's came in a perfect time, build up his channel. It's hard to compete now because there's so many accounts or so many YouTubers that are doing comic book stuff.
Actually, there's not many at all anymore.
No, but they're doing comic book / pulp culture. But I mean, it's like the people who do watch comic book stuff, like the very few, are usually watching like certain people, like they're watching West or they're watching casually comics, So I don't know. I've never really put much effort into this to turn it into like what West does. West has so much more effort into his channel. He's also gained friends and so he has connections over the years. So
I tend to I will probably watch a video tonight that I discovered last night. I can't remember the name of the account, but apparently he found a huge collection in a basement a lot of slab
no.
books from the 40s, and just a treasure trove of golden age. And yeah, I can't wait to watch that.
I will say this though, there's a lot of new channels that are popping up in the comic book community. That I've noticed that I'm getting recommendations. There was a guy I sent to you earlier today. I can't remember what his name was, but he's reviewing the new Absolute Superman story, And then I've seen this other girl like was talking about the problem, was talking about the problem with the comic book community and stuff, But there's, like I said, there's all these new channels that are popping up. People are first getting into comic books because they started off with manga and they're kind of dabbling into comic book territory now. That's the thing. That's always weird. Like if your first thing was like not reading comic books, is reading manga, and then you're like trying to get into comic books, I can understand why you have such a headache. But I feel like the people who were used to read comic books, like you, Breen, then are now just investing all their money into manga because they have more fun with manga. That being said, Breen, if you ever start reading manga, let me know.
I used to read manga.
Do you wish you'd go back?
No, I'm honestly too old to.
It is weird though when you get used to reading manga. They read backwards, and then you switch back to American book. It took me a while because when I left around 2000. I think was it 2015 with the Bendis Secret Wars thing, or what was God Doom, where he had the Battle World patch and all that stuff. That was Hickman's Secret Wars, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bounced after that. I was done with comic books. I didn't come back to 2019. I went and I started reading manga more. And I was just going back and reading stuff from the 90s and early 2000s, and I just read manga. And I just had more fun with that. So when I had to start reading comic books again for the We've Got Issues we used to do on Monday nights on each channel, I was like, how do I read again? Like left to right? Because for 4 years I was reading manga right to left. I was so used to that. And now they have these things.
They're going to take this catch away game over.
Really?
Yeah.
Was there a flag in the play?
No, they're just review whether or not it was an actual catch. It's going to be ruled no catch, so this game's over. I'm imagining, Glenzer probably already knows.
He hasn't said anything. He hasn't yelled. Fascism itself. Yeah, right. Nope. Game on.
Oh wow, they didn't. Wow, I'm really surprised.
Turned out to be a wow, interesting game here.
Well, it's in Baltimore. I'm surprised that they didn't call it
right.
That they didn't
the whole team
reverse the call.
Maybe they have good umps. Well, Weaponized Railroad was into Transmetropolitan. I believe that was a manga or anime. For the longest time, his name was Spear Jerusalem. Okay, Spider Jerusalem. Yeah, Glenn's are saying that EVS used to stream with a lot of folk when he no longer streams with. That was the running theme if you watch that video. He was used to be friends with everybody, and then everyone became his enemy. So, it's a Vertical title. Okay, I didn't read a lot of Vertical. My only experience with the Vertical, I think, was that Swamp Thing, Alan Moore. Was that Vertical?
Yeah.
And then Hellblazer.
Yeah,
I could not tell you what else was Vertical.
Well, the Vertigo titles that were self-contained, I didn't really care all that much for until 100 Bullets. That's about the one exception I've made for, not because, obviously Swamp Thing and Hellblazer are connected to the DC universe.
Yeah.
Whereas like Transmetropolitan and whatever those called, and a lot of books like that weren't.
Is there a name of it? Here, hold on a second.
I will be right back.
I will. Yeah. Yep. And I will grab that link for you, real quickly. I'll post it in the chat if you want to check it out. Let's see here. Scroll up. All right. All right. That's the actual link to the video. Should be in there. Forgot the name of the person is. Mikey No More. It's all one word. NOHMORE. So dropped 2 days ago. It's at 12,000 views. So like I said, had fun with it. It's 2 hours long. Well edited too. But anyway, though, like I said, like if you guys want to check that out, go ahead and check it out. But I just thought it was interesting. I'm the person's like, I don't like bringing it up because it's just like, yeah, been there, done that. It's old news. Blah blah blah. Who cares? You know, it's all history because who's still around? You know, that's that. I mean, that's all that matters, right? Who won in the end? But like I said, I'm more about comic books. I'm not really into the whole drama thing. The whole stuff between EVS and Rippa, care less. You know, if you enjoy Rippa, enjoy the Rippaverse, cool. If you don't like it, cool. If you want to spend your livelihood on YouTube just doing videos about these people, about the drama between them, you know, posting on Twitter and saying like, "Oh, do you hear about this? Hear about that?" That's your prerogative. Cool. But I don't know. Yeah. See, click the link and I just saw ABS comments. Yeah. So, like I said, it's like I said I can't say 100% that everything I guys in that video is real. It may not be. Who knows? For those who did live through it, may recognize stuff. But I thought it was funny though because like Tim Lim just used Geeky as his own words against him, and fairly and on their first call together, he's like, "Yeah, you said stuff about just the whole Trump Space Force and people don't." It's like I just like how he just used exact transcript from the previous live stream. That is something Tim would do. Tim's smart. I like Tim. You know, he's done well for himself. You know, but speaking of which, Common America is going to be on Volume 9. No, Volume 10 soon. I think they just released Volume 9.
By the way, I'm back, but I'm eating a cookie.
What kind of cookie? And can we see the cookie?
Yellow fudge.
Can we see the cookie?
No.
Okay. You just wait. You went to the kitchen for one cookie?
Oh, but I can only eat one at a time.
Well, you imagine you probably grabbed a bag of cookies, right? A container?
No, because I knew I wouldn't be able. I'd have to keep answering questions, so I don't even have time to eat a bag.
I'm just giving you a shit because, like, I know if I take a bag of Oreos and I'm sitting at my desk here, by the end of the night, that whole entire bag will be gone. Bree needs to be watching the game. 35-35 tie. OT, here he comes, says Glenzer. Dang.
God damn it, Glenzer, still third down on my TV. You son of a bitch. And I would, if I were Cincinnati, I would have gone for 2.
And Glenzer, aren't you on the West Coast? Or am I thinking of someone else? I know Krennis is over there. I thought Glenzer's over there too. What? A 2-point try? WFTF? Yeah.
Don't say anything because I don't want to. I don't want to spoil.
One's like laughing, just like I'm laughing. All right, Glenzer. You can tell me in the chat. I don't read it out loud, so just let me know what goes on. Another touchdown, Glenzer? What the heck? Just come out this fucking brain. Oh, alrighty though. Don't know what else to talk about. Like I said, I had a good week, nice haul. And if you guys have recommendations for what you guys want us to read on the channel, leave comments down in the chat about what book you'd want to see us to read we haven't read through. I know we've read quite a few. You know, I'm in the Bay Area, so I'll stop the game commentary. I think I'm a minute ahead. How are you a minute ahead if you're over on the West Coast or he's on the East Coast?
They were trying to draw him off sides. I think they're going to end up going for the extra point.
So you're watching a game that's in Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
How is a guy on the West Coast ahead of you?
It all depends on what satellite feed you're watching.
Jeez.
I mean, DirecTV used to be ahead of cable. What I have here is, probably the way it's set up. It probably has to bounce off a few different satellites.
It's pirating. it's pirating. No. So he's on Xfinity X. Or Xfinity, it's called, yeah. Never used that. You're actually the first person that actually I know now is actually said they use that. I used to see the ads for that when I would watch wrestling or WWE Raw and stuff. They'd advertise for that. That and CC's Pizza and Popeyes, and what was the other one they always did all the time? Gillette. You know what? If I probably would start watching wrestling again, and is it still on USA Network, right? It probably has the same 4 commercials in between the Raw.
I agree, Glenzer, even though I said I would do it because the Bengals can't beat a good team. And this should be, if this were 28 other franchises, Taylor would be fired by midnight. And he was tackled before. Yeah, that was a penalty.
So Kazar, Lord of the Jungle, or Savage Jungle, is that the miniseries? It's ongoing issue.
Wow, how do you miss that?
I don't know.
They literally tackled the receiver. But yeah, before the ball got there. That's. Well,
isn't that a penalty?
Should be
Interference.
Yeah, but wasn't called.
First series, okay. You know what? I kind of want to read Kazar again. I miss the Kazar voice. Brain, do you feel like singing tomorrow? 1975. I'll look it up. Kazar. I wonder if that actually has enough parts. Kazar. Oh, man.
Yeah, that absolutely should have been. He started tackling him before the ball got there. No call because it's on the road. But, oh well, what are you going to do?
Get a better player. 1970. Kazar. Let's see here. That was a 3-issue miniseries, right? You talking about that one?
10 yards. Jesus fucking Christ.
You talking about the 74? Or 75? Okay, that one. Okay. Because I found that. Okay. Kazar, 1974. Let's see here. Let's see there. Return to the Savage, the fabulous first issue. Stanley. All right, I got Mike Frederick and you got Paul Reinman. You know. Oh, you got Roy Thomas in here, bro. There's even an old guy in here too, even villain. Oh no, no. Malgato, the Red Wizard. I don't know if I want you if you want to be Kaiser or if you want to be Melgato. I'm Melgato. Arigato. Topless women. Wow, there's a lot of naked people in this issue. Savage Land. Wow. I think if we read this, it'd probably be for the second reading with Trusty, because there's a lot of narration. The problem is, though, it's very limited as far as the cast. There's the evil villain, and then it's just narration. Then there's Shauna. Really, there's like 3 people that talk. Unfortunately, though, like I said, like I want to read some Kazar, but there's only a few people. I mean, like I said, there's only a few parts in that role. We have like 7 people in the cast. 57, you're saying? Look at 57. This only goes to 50. So, Kazar. What you doing, Breen?
Just checking for post-Bengal tweets here.
All right. Kazar the Savage. Is that the what I'm thinking of? Kazar the Savage. I'm not seeing 57. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not seeing 57. Oh, Amazing Spider-Man 57. Okay. I think we already read that one.
We did. We did.
Is that the Jameson? They go to the Savage Land? Yeah, I think we already read that. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Art is really done well on these early Kazars.
Well, that sucks.
Huh. The 1975 that because Kazar only went for like they had a 30-issue miniseries and then they had like 20 issues and then the next one was like 1 through 34. I think that was volume. I guess you consider it volume 4, volume 3.
Yeah, that would have been volume 3.
Yeah, it has
the first one was a 3-issue reprint stuff from like 1970. The second was mid 70s, and the third one was the direct series one that was very good. I've tried to get you to read that.
I think I have some of these. Not sure. The collector's item issue, first issue of the Kaiser Savage. Like it has the origin story of him with Shanna, or is it Sheena? I can't remember. Yeah, Sabu. Problem is, it's like there's narration, and then there's like 2 girls, and then Kazar, and then I think that's about it. So there's like 4 parts. But honestly, I wouldn't mind reading some of those. It's just only have a smaller crew.
Yeah, Glinzer. It's embarrassing, but not at all surprising. They've lost to the Ravens twice, the Chiefs, the Eagles. I can't remember the other 2 teams, and all the teams put together, all the wins put together by the teams they've beaten. I think like the most wins anybody that they've beaten has is 2. They're good enough to lose every good team they play. That's coaching. It's time.
So the game's over.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, they went for 2. Like I said, should have been a pass interference call because they tackled the receiver before the ball got there. And it was a split-second call, but make no mistake, if you do that to the Chiefs, it's getting called. But, yeah, the bottom line is the Bengals gave up a shitload of points and yards in the second half. It should have never come to that.
yeah. They all vote good for Kamala. All right. With that being said, though, I mean, I enjoy hanging out with you guys, but I'm running out of conversation things to talk about. So it's probably time to wrap it up then. We've been going for 2 hours and 36 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. So that being said, if you guys have never done so, hit that like button. Check out the Ko-Fi link if you actually. Hey, now that we have Trump because we in office, you guys have more money. That means you guys can donate. Ko-Fi.com/Puppeteen. That goes out helping for the StreamYard bill, which is pretty hefty because we do the annual one all at once. So let's just say it's close to 400. Yeah. StreamYard ain't cheap. Hey, if you guys want to also, you can also, if you can't spare the dough, as you understand, being here, showing up when we go live, make sure you have the notification bell rung. If you're on your phone, your iPhone, Android device, go make sure that go into settings, the little gearbox, and make sure that the YouTube notifications are checked on, so you get the mobile notifications. Also, just go into your regular set of notifications that we at least can see you have a YouTube little like badge thing, like a little thing that says like 1 or 2, so it lets you know the notifications. You can customize that through your mobile device, or you can just be here every Tuesday, and Thursday nights. We talk about comic books. That's going to be at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. So, all right, we'll see you guys tomorrow around 8 Eastern.
Good night, kids.
Later.